Okay, happy Sunday, you guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I got Bree on the line. How are you guys doing? I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Yes, Vicky, it is showtime.
Hi, everybody. I am so happy it is Sunday. I'm so happy. We still got work we have to tend to with everything that happened in the soaps this week.
I know, girl, and I'm telling you, it's a long weekend. It for me, especially since Friday. I mean, everything has just been nonstop, to say the least. And they're still here. They just took time to go to an amusement park today. We have one of the, Six Flags have multiple amusement parks around the country, and one of them is in here in Illinois. So that's where they are right now. And then later on, we're going to go to dinner. Then my son got to fly back out. And then my daughter has to, they're leaving in the morning. So
Oh, you enjoyed his time with them so far?
I did. And I actually got before. How many people do we have in the chat? Can you tell?
Almost 50. We're at 46 people right now. Please hit the like button, everybody.
Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a treat because well, first thing, I'm going to show you a couple of clips from, we went to what is called the Wonder Museum. Have you ever heard of that, Bree?
I don't think so. Well, they have Wonder Works down here in Orlando.
Okay, well, here we have something that's called the Wonder. It's spelled WNDR, and it's like a museum of art and illusion and things like that. And so we went to that yesterday, and I got a couple of clips because I want to show you guys because I thought it was the coolest thing ever. So you guys will get a little bit of a treat. Also, too, we're going to switch up something else a little bit today. So we're going to still do our regular thing that we do on Friday night. But if you guys notice, I did not do the separate spoiler videos. So we're going to actually discuss the spoilers for the week of the 20th.
Oh,
So,
I can't wait. Especially, this is perfect, right? In Sunday to make the happen. Monday.
exactly.
Good
Exactly.
thing, too.
Yeah, Monique, there was not a live on Friday. The live was today because I had a lot. My kids came into town and we've been gone nonstop. So that's why there was no live on Friday. I did put an announcement in the community tab on YouTube. Some of you guys responded and saw it. So, yeah, I wanted to make sure I gave you guys the heads up. So, whatever you wanted to do for Friday night, you could do for Friday night. Get your Friday back for a change, and then we were going to come together on Sunday. So, I want to show you this, and let me switch. And are you watching it from your screen as well, Bree?
Yes.
Okay. So one of the things I thought was the coolest thing is the LED light. So every time I walked, if you can see it on the screen, it had like like a white fiery effect. Do you see it?
Taking a second on my side.
Can you guys see it on the screen?
Oh wow, that's so pretty. I love
And I
that.
know that the video is sideways. For whatever reason, I could not get it to go straight up and down. But I thought it was the coolest thing ever. That wherever I walked, yep. So that was cool. And then they also had these LED lights that were, cubes that you can look into them. Can you see it? It should be coming
Yeah,
up.
I see you, T. Cute outfit. Oh, this is so cool. I love this.
So I wanted to share it with you guys because we had a lot of fun. She said that is something when you take Ella. Oh, okay. I got you, Monique.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, I
That
had
is
to
so
share that
cool.
with you guys because when I first saw it, I'm like, oh my God. And every time you walk, it looks like there's some type of fiery effect under your feet. So Yeah. Who asked that question? Calvin. Actually, it's the Wonder Museum. I'm in the Chicagoland area, so downtown there is a ton of things to do. We have so many museums and different festivals that start happening between like May and October. Yes. Oh, thank you, Blackpink Me. Thank you. You know what? If you happen to ever see me, and some people might see me on Facebook, I don't have my regular Facebook open, but in the group, I wear a lot of maxi dresses and sundresses, and I thrift all of them. I'm a thrift shopper. So, that romper, yeah. I got so many compliments. It was very cool and relaxing. We had good weather up here this weekend. We even went to, if for those that's familiar with Chicago, Navy Pier, which is right on Lake Michigan, where they have boat cruises, and there's a big, huge Ferris wheel. A lot of small vendors, eateries, restaurants. It was packed because the weather was so nice. Hey, Keish.
What's up, y'all?
Hey, girl. Did you see the Ellie? Did you see the Ellie? The stuff that I showed that I did yesterday with the kids?
No, but I heard something about a romper. I want to see a romper.
Okay, all right. I'll show it one more time. Yeah, it's in Chicago. It's in Chicago. I'll show it to you. So, watch the screen. I'll play it again. Okay. All right. It should be coming up on the screen now. You see it? I can't stand this thing. Got a delay. You see it now?
Looks like it's getting ready. Oh, okay, I see it.
Yeah, so I had on this blue and white romper yesterday, but everywhere you walk, it gave like a fiery effect. It's LED that's on the floor. Yeah, that's at the Wonder Museum here of Illusion and Art here in Chicago.
Nice. I've been to something like that, and we were in Austin.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't a room with a floor like that, but there were several rooms that kind of had like it would do something to where it would mirror your image on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like that. Those weird little, I don't know what you call those things. I don't know how to explain it, but I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah. The kids been before, but they wanted to take me there. That was my first time being there. I really enjoyed it. There were a couple of exhibits that was closed because they were trying to add to it, so they was doing some construction. But for the most part, we even made a song up in there. They allow you to make, and I'll play it for you guys in the group chat because I don't want to distract too far from the live, but I'll play it. We weren't singing, but you can put all the musical notes together to make a song. So me and my daughter and one of her friends, we were up in there pushing the buttons, and we made a whole song. So I'll play it for you later. All right, you guys. What'd you say?
You look so happy, so pretty. I'm so happy for you.
Girl, listen, we had a good time. Yeah, but there was a lot of walking. We were gone for like, maybe 9 hours?
Are your kids still there?
Yeah, they actually at the amusement park. So, yeah, I said, y'all go ahead, have a good time. Because I had already told them that I was going to do the podcast today, so. Yeah, so, but they'll be back later, and then we're going to do one last dinner later, and then my son because he got to work tomorrow, so he got a flight out tonight, and then my daughter got to work Tuesday, so she's leaving in the morning, so.
Okay.
Yep. All right, let's get these soaps, because we got a lot to talk about. Oh, my goodness. And, Keish, what also you missed is that since I did not do the spoiler videos for the week of the 20th through the 24th, we're going to discuss the spoilers on this live.
Okay.
All right. Okie dokie. Let's go. All right. So we're going to start off with The Young and the Restless for the week of May 13th through the 17th. And I'm going to do my recap, and then we'll break it all down. So, Lily laughs and Devon is outraged when Billy informs them that Jill gave gave him her power, and Chloe and Sally business fails. Jill confirms Billy has her power, and Devon turns to Tucker for help, and Daniel fail with Lily. Well, his request fell with Lily. And Wednesday, Tracy is heartbroken. Audra gives Sally advice. Tucker lies to Audra, and Miss Abbott is ready for Tucker to go. Abby's vote for Billy shocks Devon. Phyllis leaks secrets to Tucker and quits her job as Audra considers a bold move. And then Victor tortures Jordan with Brussels sprouts. And Summer's furious when Kyle tells Harrison Claire can be his nanny. Okay, where y'all want to start?
Oh my goodness. So nothing but mess. I guess we can. What was the smaller storyline? Was it the Ashley storyline this week?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much, because the first few days were about Devon and Lily and all of that, and then the second few days, it was a mixture of things. I mean, mm-hmm.
I guess we can get Ashley out. I was going to say we can get Ashley out the way. So what is the end goal for her? She just wants to get rid of Tucker, and then what?
So
I don't understand how getting rid of Tucker would make her feel better.
Well, that's the thing. She's
out of her life.
Yeah, I don't think that she's in her. I mean, she's not in the right frame of mind anyway. So it's not making sense. Like you said, he's moved on. He's chasing after Audra at this point, and but her alters are trying to keep the Mrs. Abbott altar from getting rid of Tucker. And then one moment Belle wants to get romantic with Alan. So, I mean, it's just a mixed bag. I mean, in the beginning of this storyline, I thought it was pretty interesting because, Eileen is playing it really well. But now it's like, okay, what are we going to do with this? What's the end goal? So I see where you're coming from.
Same with Jordan.
Yeah, well, I got some interesting spoilers on that one, but go ahead.
Oh, okay. I love the fact that I love Mrs. Abbott, and I actually love Belle. I love these two personalities. I just wish I knew what her end goal, what the end goal is, because even if he's unalive, she's not awarded anything. She's not his wife.
Right.
And if anything, Audra would have more control over Tucker's assets and stuff. So, like, what is her goal in getting rid of Tucker? I'm on Belle's side. Just move on with this other man. And he's the only other male pulse that hasn't been touched by the women in Genoa City so far.
I think for me, it seems like it's not necessarily her gaining something from it. I think it's just more so she doesn't want to see Tucker happy with anybody else. Like, she just doesn't want him happy, period. So she just wants to get rid of him. That was the only thing I got from it. She's just being, like, vindictive and vengeful because she feels like Tucker has ruined her life in some way or has done some harm to her. So I guess maybe she just feels like he doesn't deserve to live.
Yeah.
Do you think he had like a... Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Bree.
I was gonna say, do you guys think that maybe she had like a mental break when she went to Paris and realized that Tucker was right? So maybe that angry part of her wants to get revenge because she was wrong and she was so sure in her emotions, and I don't know, maybe that kind of puts how she was feeling in that moment with Tucker on full display now. She wants to get revenge on him. Like, I feel like she's only mad because he was right in that moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's unclear at this point because, I mean, it was an interesting storyline the way Eileen was acting it, but why did she end up here, and then where are we ending it? You know what I mean? So I can see where you guys are kind of like, I mean, like one of you guys just said, hey, is this a situation where she's like, man, I was wrong, now I'm really pissed off, he making me look bad, and now let me get rid of him. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like him being right triggered Mrs. Abbott, and then she wanted to take over that woman's body. I found it very interesting how the doctor didn't want to diagnose her with a DID.
Yeah, I
Which
mean,
was
go ahead.
So I'm like, so then what's going on with her? Is he choosing to just not treat her? Is he going to recommend her to somebody, or do you think he might actually be interested in Ashley?
I honestly think that this was poorly written because, I mean, he's not even, well, it probably would be a conflict of interest anyway, but he's not even licensed to practice in the States anyway. So, I mean, what was the purpose of bringing him here? Just to talk to her or to use him, meaning Tracy and Jack, to get information about her? But still, he can only tell you so much because he's not licensed to come up with a diagnosis. So their best bet is to go back to where they started from, and was to try to help her get in therapy. Because the other thing is that Alan said is that Tracy said this, how are we supposed to help her get into therapy if we can't get her to go? And they don't even know the answer to that. So it's like,
And
go ahead.
I was going to say, Gail Lewis said, I just don't understand why Jack and Tracy tell Abby about Ashley's diagnosis with DID. Abby is Ashley's daughter. She has a right to know. And she's still not around her mom to check on her and see what's going on.
Yeah. But see, even the writers, they had Tucker the week of the 6th, May 6th week, telling her, I think you need to go to see about your mom. And they just left it up in the air with her looking crazy, like, oh, Tucker is up to something, and Devon co-signing it. And then she never checked on her mom. Even up to this point. She's so busy with the craziness over at Chancellor Winters, with her being on the board, than actually saying, okay, why is Tucker saying that? Let me go see what's going on with my mother.
Yeah, Abby has made some interesting moves.
Yeah.
And none of them towards her mom. Even right after Tucker said that, you would think, as much as the Abbott family is so on high alert about Tucker, you would think she would be the first person to go check and see what's going on with them.
Right. It should have prompted her to say, hey, Uncle Jack or Tracy, Tucker said something interesting about my mom. Is he up to something? Have you heard something? What's going on with my mother? And then at that point, that should be the open door to say, well, your mom has been dealing with A, B, and C. But they're not saying anything to Abby, and Abby is not taking the initiative to even go check on her mom. So I don't know. I don't know why they wrote that this way. It's just crazy to me. What you got, Keish? Anything else?
No, I don't have anything to add. Y'all pretty much summed up that whole ridiculous storyline.
Because now it is. At first we were like, oh my gosh, she's rocking it. It is so funny, especially when she was talking about how annoying Abby was. Me. And now it's like, okay, where are we going with this now?
Yeah, it's the progression issue.
Right.
They have in both shows, I feel like they have a hard time progressing the storyline. We've been going in the same circles with Ashley's storyline since it started.
Yep.
I feel Y&R has an issue with like dragging out stories and like fully developing those storylines, let it actually form to something we can actually grow to like.
Bree, I was just about to say that, what you just said. They drag out the storylines, and Bo leave loose ends on their storylines. They'll start something and don't finish it.
And quickly too, and then move on to something else. I'm like, what just happened?
So
I mean, honestly, they do a little bit of both. There's some things they drag out, and there's more things I feel like that they leave loose ends or just completely drop and never mention it again. I don't understand it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on then. to another storyline. This whole thing, because this was short, this was toward the end of the week. This thing with Kyle and Summer and Claire and being Harrison's nanny. What do you think? Okay, first of all, the first part of this is Kyle offering her the job and Claire turned it down. What do you think about that move?
Claire was the more mature one in that situation.
Yep.
The more logical one, the more rational one.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel the same way as her. Like, if I know that this kid's mother doesn't want, has a problem with me being around her child, I'm definitely not going to accept a nanny job, regardless of if Summer has any type of parental rights over her or not. She's still the mother figure in his life. So why would I put myself in that situation? And Kyle is an idiot for even offering it to her.
Knowing Summer, what all you're gonna do is add more drama to the mix.
Exactly.
Every day that she goes to work too.
Yeah.
And it's like not good for the morale, not good for Harrison. So this was very smart on her part. I'll give her that. I actually will, for that episode, I'm going to give it to Claire. Because, I remember the beginning of the episode, she was like, Esther was like, well, what kind of coffee do you like? And she's like, I don't know, or something to that effect. And I'm like, what is wrong with this girl? And then she brought up the Brussels sprouts, and I'm like, Jordan really conditioned this girl to where she couldn't think for her own self and understand her own wants, her own likes, and her own needs. To some degree, because this is the same girl who was trying to hit on Nate when she first came on the scene. But her going to the coffee shop trying to figure out things that she wanted for herself, it was I felt for Claire in that moment, and I also felt for her maturity and understanding Summer's side, and I feel she's doing more than Victoria, in my opinion. She's more so in the mother's shoes than Victoria.
Okay, let me say this because Amaya brought it up, and I did. Time is just loopy in my head this weekend. So I think part of what we saw on Friday was the veto. I think the whole thing with Claire and Kyle, that happens tomorrow. I forgot I sent you guys Monday's episode.
Oh, shoot. Sorry, guys.
So if you guys don't know what we're talking about, spoiler alert, that was for tomorrow. Thanks, Amaya.
So this week was when Summer and Kyle were discussing Claire again, and then Harrison is like, he was basically asking for Claire and talking about, well, who's going to protect Claire, because they were both talking about how safe Harrison was at the Abbott house, and Kyle was going to protect him. And he's like, well, who's going to protect Claire? And he kept bringing up Claire, the conversation. That was all this week, right?
Right. I think that was Friday. Listen, let me ask you guys a question. If you were in this situation where the kid is not comfortable with meeting anybody new, he likes Harrison, Kyle wants Claire, Summer don't, how do they pick a nanny now?
Harrison is a child. Go ahead, Bree. Sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead. I'm trying to think it out.
So for me, I feel like they're overplaying this, because I don't see how this kid who has spent very minimal time with Claire, because even before the kidnapping, he was like this with Claire, has become this attached to her. So I feel like the writers are overplaying the attachment that he has with Claire. But in my opinion, Harrison is a child. I don't believe for a second that they just can't find anybody that Harrison would be able to connect with other than Claire. And to me, I don't think it's right to have someone be the nanny that both parents don't agree on. And I feel like Kyle is just using we've been looking for X amount of months and we haven't been able to find anybody, but Claire is the only one that he's been able to connect with, so we just need to go with her. No, Kyle, there's plenty of other, I'm sure, experienced nannies out there that you guys will be able to find. And in my opinion, he's feeding into Kyle's need to want Claire around.
So do you think Harrison is manipulating the situation?
I don't necessarily. I think he's too young to understand manipulation.
He's not Douglas.
You leave my Douglas alone. I think he genuinely is showing concern because him and Claire were in that kidnap situation together. So I don't think he's trying to manipulate it. That's the part where I feel like they're overplaying his attachment to Claire. Because he acts as if him and Claire have spent every day together since she came to town.
Yeah.
Harrison is what, 7, 8?
I think 6 or 7, something like that. Yeah.
You don't see somebody for about a week or two. Even somebody that you like. You're not thinking about them at 7 or 8 years old like that. Not to the point where you're constantly asking for them to come over, or that you're concerned about their safety. So that's why I feel like they're totally overplaying this just to make Summer look like the bad guy in the situation.
Gotcha. Now, Amaya says that she thinks Harrison and Claire are trauma bonding.
They may be now, but even before the kidnapping, they had Harrison constantly talking about Claire.
That's true.
Right.
That's true. So, I agree. I think it's between the parents. And Kyle. Well, I mean, I guess that's trying to go into Monday's episode, but I don't think it would be cool for Kyle to jump the gun and make a decision like that. You know what I mean? Without the other parent, whoever that parent is.
Yeah, and it was Friday when he looked at Harrison and said, "How would you like if Claire was your nanny?"
He sure did.
So that, to me, that was a very
disrespectful.
Disrespectful, very immature move for him to do. Because, it's one of those things where you don't say something to a child until the adults have agreed. That way you don't get that child's hopes up. So he did that right there in front of Summer, because either Summer is going to look like the jerk for saying, no, this isn't happening, or she's going to have to agree because she doesn't want to break Harrison's heart.
Yeah, it put her in a bad guy situation.
Yeah.
Because if she says no, then Harrison will be upset, and why not, and yeah. Go ahead, Bree.
And that's why I'm on Summer's side. She's not wrong. She has every right to feel how she feels. I do not agree with the fact that in a matter of months, Kyle has all this trust and faith in this woman that came out of nowhere. Even from her own family, came out of nowhere, and he puts all this trust in her to be around his child. I found that to be very reckless. And I saw stuff online saying Summer used to be this, she used to be dangerous and reckless. She's at least changed. I can't really say the same for Kyle. You just got your child back. If anything, you have the money and resources to find someone who you both feel very secure and safe with, who has credentials as a background, actually go through a process for your kid. But that's too much right. I'm so sorry, you guys.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I will say because it seemed like a lot of people have seen the Monday's episode in the chat too. I'm honestly glad that Claire turned him down, because that would have caused more problems. And then the other thing is, Victor already don't want her over there. Remember?
Right.
Victor don't want her over there, and then Summer don't want her over there, and Kyle is going to be like, oh, you got a new job, you could start tomorrow. And she's like, hold on, wait a minute.
Right.
And I don't blame Kyle on this either, because he's just trying to make his kid happy. He's just trying to find a solution as a parent. So I will give him that. And he says hey, she's comfortable around him, he's comfortable around her. I get it. It's just very reckless given the time frame. He just met her himself.
Right.
She don't even know her own mother, hardly. So it's, I don't know, I just wouldn't agree with him doing that. I would be very pissed off if I was Summer.
Right. I agree. All right. Let's see. Let's talk about her mother, Phyllis. Phyllis was
She looked incredible this week. That dress,
Phyllis always looked good.
she looked amazing.
Michelle Stafford must choose her own fashion designs because she is always got some nice dress and she got her figure.
Right?
Mm-hmm. And the girl is almost 60.
Is walking every room, owning it. The way she looked at Danny and Christine, like this is what we were trying to get you to realize, Phyllis. This is who you are. You just beautiful and like clearly ageless and just walking around can have whatever she wants. That's why when she gets into mischief, it's like, girl, come on. It's not how you're supposed to do this.
Girl, she was finna hack and put a whole virus in the system over at Chancellor Winters.
I'm like, girl, you've come so far.
And I didn't know what Nicholas was gonna be up to because he was like, "Come on, let's do it." And I'm like, "Wait, what?" And then
Call me crazy.
go ahead.
I was gonna say that was such a cute reaction.
Mm-hmm.
A cute interaction between them two. I loved it.
Yeah.
What?
What?
But I thought you're hoping for Lily and Nick though.
Well, that doesn't mean I can't recognize when he and Phyllis have a cute interaction because I've always loved Nick and Phyllis.
Well, remember, I don't know, were you on with us yet at that time, Bree? But Keish was not happy when Phyllis lobbed a grenade in her relationship with Nicholas when Jack was sniffing around.
Oh, I remember. I think I was in the chat before I came on the show.
Yeah, we were not happy about that at all.
It was pointless.
It was, and it didn't even amount to anything.
Right.
It took them. How long did it take from the time she sabotaged her relationship with Nick to when her and Jack even had their first kiss or slept together? Because it wasn't until after Diane showed up.
Yeah, that's true.
And that was that 22? I think it was in 22 when Diane came on the scene. Yep.
Yeah.
It was in 22. So yeah, because I liked them two together. I liked the playful chemistry. They're so relaxed around each other. I didn't like her around Jack. I mean, back in the day, I guess, but
I never liked those two.
I don't know. It's just something about her and Nick has always had the best chemistry. To me, even over Sharon.
Yes.
Agree.
I highly agree with that. I think Jack matures Phyllis in the best way.
Mm-hmm.
Like I do like those two together. But Phyllis and Nick, it's just that spark, that chemistry, that fire. And they haven't been together in a minute, but we like those two. I love the comment he said, like, "Oh, I love that dress on you. It's a good color on you." That is, love that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Now, what about the interaction between Summer and Tucker? I mean, Summer. Phyllis and Tucker.
I was getting ready to say, what did I miss?
Yeah.
Phyllis and Tucker. Because she was pissed after Daniel started spazzing out and acting crazy and, oh my God, the world is coming to an end. She got into mama bear mode and she spilled all the secrets to Tucker.
Wait, I don't even remember their interaction, honestly.
That was at Crimson Lights.
Yeah.
Right before Devon she said, I quit. And Devon was like, good, you do me the favor so I don't have to fire you. I think that was Thursday.
Yeah, she was sitting at the table. Tucker was there. Devon came in, and then she and Devon had that spat, and she quit her job. It was funny that she had to reiterate, like, look, I quit. I wasn't fired. I quit. It's different. And Summer was like, look, you're out of job. You're out of a job. But that interaction between Phyllis and Tucker, I'm hoping this is giving us a little glimpse that maybe these two could be together. I thought this was more Kim testing with these two, to be honest. Um, I don't think he's going to share any information to Devon, though. Anything that she shared with him, I don't think he's going to share that with Devon. I think this might be his way of possibly trying to help his son. It's like just get all the information.
Wait a minute, wait. You said, okay, say that again. You said you don't think the information that Phyllis shared with Tucker that Tucker won't share with Devon?
Mm-mm.
I thought he did.
So.
Because because when Tucker went over, because Devon came in the Crimson Lights, Tucker went over to Devon saying, "Hey, is Billy running the place now?" And he was like, "Well, how did you know that?" And then he looked over at Phyllis that was sitting on the other side of the room, and that's what triggered that whole firing, quitting situation, because Devon went over there and said, "Did you tell company?" Yeah, said, "Did you tell inside company information?" To say she was like, "Yeah," and I quit.
He's going to use Phyllis because she knows so much. She's already hacked into. She probably knows who has more ownership over whoever.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'll get that information. I think they'll keep it, and it makes me wonder if he might use it as a bargaining chip to get real support or real, relationship with Devon or some relationship with his son, saying, "Hey, I'll do this. I got such and such, but I want to have some family time with you." I feel Tucker would do something like that.
I hope he doesn't, because I wouldn't. That wouldn't, to me, that wouldn't make him look good if he uses it as a bargaining chip for a relationship with his. Like, if I have to bribe you to give me another chance, I don't know. I feel like that almost taints the relationship even further.
Devon's doing it to him.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. I didn't like how he did that because he wanted information about what Mamie and him was going to put together at first, but I'm not giving you anything. And I'm like, dude, you got, as they say, I scratch your back and you scratch mine. It's like you want this man to give you the keys, but don't even think about trying to get into a relationship or going to see Dom at his play or whatever. I just want what I want and extract resources from you.
And that's why I felt like Tucker should have told him to kick rocks.
Exactly. I was going to say the same thing.
Because you've been a jerk. You pretty much been a jerk to me from the moment that you were told that I was abusive to Ashley in Paris.
Mm-hmm.
Even after you found out that wasn't true, you were still a jerk to me. Basically, don't want to give me the time of day, but you have the gall to come and ask me for a favor.
Mm-hmm.
And then even as he's asking for that favor, he's still being rude to Tucker.
Yeah. Here's the other thing. That's what Audra was, because she cut Devon off at the knees when they were coming in the door. Yeah. She was like, wait a minute. Right. She was like, well, hold on. If you're going to keep coming up in here talking crazy to him, we don't have anything to talk about. And then, of course, Tucker was like, okay, look, let me talk to him. But that's why Audra was so hard pressed, because Devon has been treating like crap.
Right.
And this is why I feel Tucker would take advantage of that. I think Audra's words are going to kind of stick in his head, and he's going to try to do what he can to help his son, but try to leverage whatever information he gets to help him to spend time with probably his grandson, or try to get Devon to see him in a different light. I think Devon recognizes the type of father Tucker is, or the type of person his father is, and I think he went to the right person to try to get that done, but I do not like the fact that Tucker is held to a higher regard in Devon's eyes, but Jack and Victor and everyone else around him is capable of change and can never do anything wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah, I just, if Tucker does it, I would prefer Tucker to do it because he just wants to help Devon, and I don't want him to go to Devon and say, I'm going to do this for you, but this is what I need from you in return. Like, if you're going to help him because you truly want to help your son. And if Devon is still going to be a jerk about, giving him another chance or allowing him to spend time with Dom, then he just looks like that a-hole in the situation. But I don't want Tucker to use this and go to Devon and say, "This is what I need from you in order for me to help you."
Well, the other thing is that he turns around. So now we got two different things going. So Tucker gets back upstairs to Audra and lied that he can't go to Paris because he's trying to help Devon. And Devon goes back over to Chancellor in front of Lillian's like, he was no help. And that's over with and done. So obviously those two storylines are probably going to cross because now Audra going to be pissed off when she finds out that Tucker lied just to stay in town.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, granted, Devon is an a-hole for how he's treating people in general. Let me just say that, not just Tucker. But that Tucker is still a dad. He's going to do what he feels is best for his son. He's going to be there. It's not going to change.
Like Sheila and Finn. Because remember, Devon. Listen. Devon told him, "You were never in my life when I was younger anyway. You just showed up later." So did Sheila.
That's comparing apples and oranges. I'm so sorry. The Tucker is not.
We ain't talking about behavior. We talking about son and father and son and mother.
Okay, well then the Devon is, oh Lord. Look, Tucker's gonna do what he feels best to help his son.
Oh my God!
He's gonna be smart about it. But at least we know he has a real expense account. We can't say the same for Sheila.
Have an extensive what?
I said that at least we know Tucker has his money. He has expense accounts.
Oh, expense accounts.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least help his son.
We can also say Tucker has never tried to murder Devon's significant other.
Yeah, and it's not to the point where Abby and Devon want to keep Tucker away from the grandson because he's a violent threat. So, like I said, apples and oranges. That's just my view. We'll definitely get to it. It's a whole lot to say for both.
Yeah. Now, what you think gonna happen? Because was that tomorrow or was that Friday? God, it's all just jumbled up. When Nate and Audra closed the door in Tucker's face, was that Monday or Friday?
I think that must have been Monday.
Okay.
I don't remember seeing that.
I'm telling you, I want to see Nate and Audra. I'm sorry, Bree. I know Nate is your dude.
I won't be watching that part.
Girl, please. Now you know. Come on. You know that Nate and Audra are going to be hot. And for those that did not see Monday's episode, they had their date in her room. And Tucker showed up, and Nate became the knight in shining armor, which obviously is going to be a turn on for Audra, and shut the door in Tucker's face.
Well.
It's surprise, another date in her room. That's what she knows best.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind seeing Nate and Audra together.
Me either. That'll make for some hot Instagram clips.
Well, I'm going to cool off on the side and let you guys enjoy.
Girl, you need to stop it.
I'm gonna, I'll skim through, for the podcast. I'll do that. I'll skim it for the podcast.
Jacqueline, she said Nate wanted to eat Audra.
Oh.
All right, Jacqueline. Interesting. Almost sound like Jay was up in this room somewhere.
Right.
I know. I was like, where is Jay?
That's definitely a Jay statement.
Right. But Blackpink Me said it's about to go down. It is. I'm telling you, I've been waiting for them to put them two back together. Ever since we saw that last scene before Tucker ruined it, when she was about to climb on top of him in that chair.
I can't stand these
That's understandable, I guess. But I'm gonna enjoy watching it. So, okay, tell me, because I got this window open. Do you guys hear that train? Because I can close it if it's distracting. Do you guys hear it?
It's not to the point where it's distracting.
Can you hear it though?
A little bit.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, hold on. Let me, because I don't want it to distract the feed. I'm gonna close this window. Oh, hold on. Give me a sec. Okay. It's been such a nice day here the last few days, and we supposed to be in the upper 70s and 80s the rest of the week. You should be getting that same weather, Keish, in Ohio. Am I correct?
Oh yeah, it's nice here too.
Oh man, it's great and that's an early summer for us because sometimes it's kind of iffy in May.
Yeah.
I hate summer in Florida. It's like sweltering hot, like 90 degrees.
Oh my goodness.
It's been a mess. I wanted to point out something. TA said Audra is always in her element in her room. That's a factual statement.
My thing is, why is all these people? Because Summer's living in there too. It's like, why y'all got all these CEOs living in the hotel?
Summer, of all people, girl, why are you still? You got a billionaire grandpa. Your daddy's rich. He has a whole house that he built that we never saw ever.
What happened to Summer's condo? Remember that condo she had?
Yeah, that
The
used
one
to
that
be
used to be
Phyllis's
Phyllis
condo.
in.
Right.
That's just production being cheap.
Because now Phyllis don't have a place to stay either, do she? She in the one of them rooms too, right?
I think so.
Because Tucker stays there. He don't live with Audra, but he has a room there. Tucker stays there. Audra stays there. Sally stays there. Who else? Summer stays there.
I'm assuming Chance.
Well, we ain't seen him in a while. I heard that he's off contract. I don't know about that 100%. I need to check, but I'm either hearing recurring status or off contract or something. So I hope that's not the case, but
That break my heart. All that
um
fineness not on my screen anymore. Like this.
but I just
That's the
named,
crime.
yeah, I know, girl. I just named 6 people who, I mean, even Tucker, who's supposed to be a billionaire. Why are you living in a hotel? You can rent a whole jet to land on Jack's backyard, but you can't go get a place.
You know what would make more sense is if instead of having the set for the rooms at the hotel, why don't they have sets for that building with all the condos in it? The one that Adam stays in, the one that Abby and or wait, no, Abby and Devon don't live there anymore. But like
Lily's
the
place.
penthouse,
Yeah.
yeah. Like why
Mhm.
not have a bunch of variations of those sets so it makes more sense that these rich people are staying in expensive condos instead of living out of a hotel.
Mhm.
I agree. Hey, G Money.
Yeah, he said he not feeling well.
Oh,
Sorry,
feel
Jay.
better.
Yeah, feel better soon, Jay, but he said he's listening. Okay. Yeah, feel better. And then, well, because he's also in the same area I'm in, and I know it's got to be killing him because of the fact that it is some good weather this weekend. So you got to feel better soon, Jay, so you can enjoy this weather here.
I'm trying to think who is not living at GCAC.
Girl, I mean, they were able, after Victoria's house burned down, they was able to put her in the tack house, but they had to move Mariah and Tessa out. Oh, was that this week when we saw the conversation between Daniel and Tessa? Some people were saying that they were being Kim tested.
I did. I said that. Definitely they're Kim testing. They would look a really cute couple together. But
it seemed like a very random combo.
Because they just got him back with Heather.
Yeah, but that's what they do though. They Kim test for like 6 months, or like we don't. They Kim test and then we won't see them as a couple for like 6 months. That's why I feel like eventually Adam and Audra are going to get together. But Daniel looks really cute with Tessa together. I love their interaction. They have some stuff in common, and plus, we haven't seen Heather at all, and she's
Yeah.
his whole lawyer for his lawsuit.
Yeah, the whole
I,
thing is. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Keish.
I was just gonna say I didn't take it as a Kim test. It just seemed like a random filler combo scene,
Okay.
and I don't see like Mariah and Tessa haven't had any. Well, they haven't really been on screen that much, but I don't know. I guess I don't see like how what story would they create to suddenly make Mariah and Tessa have issues to where Tessa would step out on her with Daniel.
I
Yeah, I
mean,
don't know.
they would go through like any other like couple issues, and plus, both Mariah and Tessa, they've been with men before. I think they could write it to where Tessa and Daniel can get together, but we haven't seen Heather at all. So that I'm like,
Yeah, y'all blew up the Lily, which I didn't have a problem with because I think they were absolutely boring. But Daniel and Lily were blew up the whole relationship with Heather coming in the mix, and then once it's now over, she's gone. It's like, where is she? Where's Lucy? Send Lucy to B&B. Give Sheila a little bit more leverage on that side too. So.
Them all to B&B or to Jordan.
You said including Jordan?
I said or back to Georgia.
Oh, Georgia. Oh yeah. I
you
will.
mad at Daniel?
What you?
I just don't see the I don't see the use for any of them anymore.
I mean, if you're gonna take Heather and Lucy off screen and it's just Daniel, what is he gonna be doing? Now we did hear, which can take us into this now storyline that we got to talk about. We did hear Lily now trying to concede to make him a consultant and give him some parts of the whole thing back.
Mm-hmm.
She can shove it. That's how I would feel. Like she got in her feelings, fired him,
Mm-hmm.
and took the very thing that he worked on away from him because she got mad that she got cheated on, even though she was a former cheater herself.
Mm.
And yes, she has every right to be upset in her own personal time, but she brought that to the professional setting, and then now he has to fight for his rights, which is also distress. Like I don't feel no sympathies whatsoever to Lily or to the Winters, to be honest, all of them, especially how
Yeah.
they treated me.
Okay, so we got to
Um,
back up. Oh, I'm sorry, Keish. Go ahead.
I was just saying I don't have any sympathy for Daniel. He can shove it too.
Now we got to go back to the beginning of the week because at the beginning of the week Nate and Devon had the conversation where they want to get rid of Billy. Billy texts Lily to meet at the office, and Billy dropped that bombshell that Jill gave him all his power, which we kind of talked about on the, what was that, the 13, 11, the 10th. On the Friday night of the 10th, we kind of talked about that coming up where the power was being shifted to Billy that Jill gave him. And at first, they didn't believe it. They thought that this was some plot that Jill didn't even know about. And then Tuesday, she confirmed it. Like, yeah, I gave it to him. So what? Deal with it. And gave him power over Lily. Because at first they were all on equal playing field, which is why Lily and Devon called that vote, because they wanted to neutralize Billy so that they can all be equal to each other. And yeah, Abby said no.
And Lily was like, well, we shouldn't have had you on the board then. We should have gave that to Nate then.
I
I'm like,
know. But you know what? I don't feel sorry. I think that was Keish. Keish, you said you don't feel sorry for none of them, right?
And what you in this situation?
Mm-hmm.
No, not for this situation. They were idiots for not listening to
Mamie. Mm-hmm. Mamie tried to tell them, and they tried to make her look like a whole bad person in this. Oh, you're the problem. You're the trouble starter. And she was offended and stormed out. I bet she said, we was talking about that on the Wednesday midweek chat, Bree. We said that she probably got her feet up with her wig off and her scarf on, laughing at him.
Yeah. She watch her court TV and everything. She's like, fine, let them figure it out for themselves, and then get ready to go to bed at 7.
And did you hear? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
And I was going to say, did you hear Nate? After that whole vote was said and done, he was like, well, maybe Mamie was right. No kidding, Sherlock.
Yeah. He can't say nothing either. If anything, she got him the job that he has now. Otherwise, he'd be looking for work.
Correct. But that's what they get. And so now, if you guys have seen the Monday episode, we have come full circle. Because like I said, I will be talking spoilers since it's Sunday. So we're coming full circle because now both Lily and Devon want to split the company in half. Give Chancellor their piece back and the Winters piece come back, and Lily go with Devon over to the Winters side, Hamilton Winters side.
So does that mean Lily's going to admit that she was wrong? She would have to.
She would have to. Mm-hmm. Now,
what would happen to the lawsuit?
Well, who owns that? Well, Chancellor Winters own. Well, unless.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, she was saying give him a piece back and make him a consultant. But who would he be a consultant for? Chancellor or Hamilton Winters? I think. Go ahead.
Whoever owns the game, right?
Yeah, but
I guess if you're a consultant, if you're an independent consultant, you could for both companies, unless there's something written in the contract that says you can't consult with anybody else, or I don't know.
Okay, so Hamilton Winters consisted of the music side of the house, right? The music, the festivals, the streaming. So maybe the gaming division might go with Hamilton Winters since it's that type of niche.
I don't know. I hope this Daniel gets all of his rights, get the whole thing, to be honest. In this, a part of me thought that interaction between Phyllis and Tucker, I thought maybe Tucker can fund a business for Daniel and he just removes himself entirely from the Hamilton Winter side and they start a storyline arc there, but oh well. But what would who gets to decide that? I mean, there's a whole active lawsuit, and now they want to split the companies up after doing all of that work to try to put the companies together.
But I mean, think about it, Bree. There's no way at this point that they're going to be able to work together with Billy in charge, and now Abby feeling how she's feeling. There's cracks forming into their little relationship.
He had a whole expectation. He thought little Miss Abby was going to fall in line, and then he had to recognize that she was Victor Newman's daughter. They do as they choose to, and a part of me feels that Billy might put Abby in Lily's position. A part of me feels like Abby's going to have a whole lot more of a say and more of a power play than we realize. I thought she was going to have a seat on the board. I feel it's going to be a whole lot more, especially since she's being utilized the way she is now. And I think if they split the companies up, if Lily goes over there, I think Abby's going to take a job with Billy. And I think that's going to completely break up Devon and Abby.
Well,
did you notice how quickly Devon apologized to Abby after
that was simpy to me.
He immediately apologized to her. I thought he was gonna hold a grudge for a little bit because you know how Devon is, but it was like the moment Abby said what she said after they were done voting, he completely bowed down to her, which I was surprised about. So I don't know if that's gonna cause at least as of right now, doesn't seem to be causing an issue in the relationship because I guess feels like that he was wrong for not consulting with her first and just assuming. But I honestly feel like if that conversation that Abby had with Daniel had not happened, she would have voted.
I was
I think
just
she would have
about to
voted.
say that. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't think it had anything to do with Billy being her own, because it's not like her and Billy are all that close anyway.
Yeah, I don't like the
Yeah.
entitlement that Daniel had because he was like, "We're friends and you voted against me." It's like, dude, come on now.
Yeah, I'm like, how much interaction have y'all had since you've been back in town? So all of this, we've been friends for X amount of years, and something about loyalty and blah blah blah. And I'm like, what?
Exactly. I'm
Like,
like,
what entitles you to, just because the two of you are friends? What entitles you to her vote?
exactly.
The same thing can be said about Devon. Like, just because you're with her doesn't mean you're entitled to how her vote's going to be swayed, or what her.
Right,
Sure.
right. But the
I
thing
don't
is,
think anybody should feel entitled, regardless of what their relationship is. No one should feel entitled. But in this case, Daniel coming out of the blue talking about how great of friends they were for the last however many years, and feeling like, just, I guess, to me, his reaction to hearing that Abby voted against him, you would have thought that he was talking to Summer.
I
right.
feel he's being a little emotional with this lawsuit because he's like trying to work things out with Lily. Like, we've been friends, like we've been through such and such, like we were on the run and our parents had to get us. And then now the thing with Abby, it's like he's being very emotionally invested versus trying to focus on getting his, what's due for him to then focus on the business aspect of it. That's why I don't understand, like, why we haven't seen Heather. She needs to kind of help get his head on straight as his lawyer.
Yeah, the other thing is that she been doing some behind the scene talking with people. She talked to him, which Lily didn't like. How do you can't have those type of conversations like that outside of a lawsuit. And then a few weeks ago, she was talking to Billy behind Devon's back. So it's like, I don't know, Abby. You need to kind of reel it in, sister girl, because you playing two sides, and with her I think she's gonna be a whole problem down the road.
No, she's picked a side. I feel she's picked a side because when she went through like the list as to why Chancellor was better than the Winters side division, she's like, look, they're more established. They have more money. They have this. They have that. She's picked a side. She will always, it's clear she'll stand with the Chancellor side than Devon's side. And that's why I feel, given the opportunity, if Lily goes over to Devon, that Lily's position is vacant. I think he's going to offer that to Abby.
Yeah, and like I'm saying, making her a whole problem. That whole relationship is doomed. Whatever it was, because I don't even. They just been. They live together, right? Yeah, so they live together at the Chancellor Mansion with the baby. But other than that, that's it. There's no. They haven't even talked about getting married, doing anything. They're just together. So that situationship is doomed. Especially if she gonna take sides, because if the company is gonna split down the middle, and Billy wants it split anyway.
Yeah.
He wanted it split. That was a good idea for him. He like, yeah, take your ball and go home. That's
Now, do you
basically.
think he might try to fight them now and says, no, I want to try to keep the companies together since now he has the control of both?
That now he could shift his mind because that's a lot of power to have. He has power over both sides now.
Exactly. I think this is going to be the only way he's going to try to fight and poke
And it's gonna
at
come down to
Devon.
a vote, and who's gonna be the deciding factor in that vote. Abby once again.
Mm-hmm. Oof, my
Man,
goodness.
that's gonna be ugly. All right, we got one other storyline to talk about, and this whole thing with Jordan and the Brussels sprouts and torture and him lying to Cole, because Cole is like, look, dude, you hiding something. I don't know what you hiding, but you hiding something.
And I appreciate Nick. This is why I love Nick. He's like, look, this is my dad. Of course there's something going on. Do you really need to dig into it? I will highly recommend not doing that. And, well, I'm paraphrasing, guys, but
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Nick just knows. He's like, there's something going on. Eventually my dad's going to call me to save the day because he will.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's just gonna wait his turn. He's like, look, Cole, you got your daughter back. You're working things out with my sister. Just focus on that. But why is Victor keeping this woman there? Like, why? It's I don't know.
I think he's trying to torture her as much as he thinks that she tortured Nikki. He's trying to replay torture for torture.
She was really trying to survive. She was like, look, I'm a woman. I'm the best. And she said, I'm a woman. I'm the best in the business. I'm like, what? The best at what?
Like, what you been doing? Hey, look, Bree, was she an undercover 304?
I mean, she had to fund her lifestyle somehow. I mean, where did she get the money from?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, she said that she was the best in the business. I mean, that's why she keeps focusing on the stripper stuff with Nikki. Maybe Jordan was a former stripper. We don't know. Like, how does she fund her lifestyle?
Yeah, he's teaching her. Like Gail Lewis said, Victor's trying to teach her a lesson. He didn't want her to just go away peacefully back to a prison cell or unalive. He like, oh no, I'm about to torture you till I can't. I mean, the spiders, the alcohol. Now, when Claire brought up, oh my God, you're having Brussels sprouts? Jordan despises Brussels sprouts. And he was like, oh, okay. And took a whole bowl of them.
And then chewed a few up and then spit it at her. I love that. That was so good. And I was like, how can you not like Brussels sprouts? Brussels sprouts are delicious.
Melissa Spencer said maybe Victor is looking for a new mistress and that's why he keeping Jordan.
Look, Melissa, we on the same page. Because at this point, what are you keeping her there for? But to prove what point?
That was funny.
And you keep her, and she's your quiet little secret you keep to yourself. This is why I feel like this has to be like a fetish thing between Jordan and Victor at this point. And the fact that she offered up giving the goods. I'm a woman and I'm the best in the business. I'm like, there's a whole billionaire.
Right.
Offered that.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So I think we covered everything for this week, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Usually Key should be like, well, what about this? So Key should...
I can't think of anything else.
All right. So while we're on The Young and the Restless, here's the spoiler collage. And if you notice at the top, Jordan is found by somebody. I don't know if it come up on your screen yet. Do you see it yet?
It takes a second.
I don't know what the delay is. I guess because it has to transmit over to YouTube. You see it yet?
It's taking a quick second. It'll pop up here.
Yeah. So we got a lot. Let me go over here. Okay, so spoilers for the week of the 20th.
There we go.
About time. Jeez, taking so darn long. Okay. So if you notice at the top, you will see that Cole is the one that finds Jordan behind bars. Now, the question is she, I'm wondering, do you think he's going to feel sympathy? Dewan said, who is that? That's Cole. All right.
He actually looks good there. I'll give him that. He looks good there.
Yeah. Okay, so what we got going on Monday. First of all, we kind of talked about Monday, for those that may have seen it already, about the situation with Devon and Lily and all of them want to split the company. Nate stepped in to defend Audra. So that's what we were talking about, where Yeah, he became Audra's knight in shining armor because Tucker interrupted their date twice in tomorrow's episode. At Society, they left Society and then they went over to her room over at the GCAC, and then they had a little date, couple drinks. They started drinking Tucker's expensive alcohol. And then Tucker came in, saw everything, and then Nate came to her defense and shoved the door in his face. So, yeah. And then we also saw Tucker trying to get under Diane's skin as well tomorrow's episode. And Diane wasn't going for it. Um, so what do y'all think about that before I move on to Tuesday?
I'm curious to see Cole's reaction to Jordan.
Right.
That's supposed to be happening, I think, on Tuesday. Either Tuesday, yeah. Yeah, Tuesday.
Like, is he gonna release her? Is he gonna report her to the police? Like, what? Like, I'm really curious about that.
Well, I mean, I don't know why Victor thinks that nobody was going to find out. You got all kind of people in that house, probably maids and gardeners and all type of people, and you sneaking off, being suspicious. Somebody's going to follow you, and Cole follows him down there. That's how he found her.
Yeah. This further proof that Victor's security team is nothing. How is this supposed to be a secure area? No one can go to it, and you see, oh, this hops right on in. This is,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm curious to see what happens.
Okay, so on Terrific Taco Tuesday, we have the whole thing happening with Cole. Adam and Chelsea decides to put their grievances aside, so they're going to create a whole new alliance, which is this ongoing story with what's going on with Connor, which in my opinion, y'all need to bring that boy home and get a doctor closer, or fly somebody world renowned in the world that can bring him to Genoa City, because being not able to be so close and no telling what's going on up in Maryland, it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know about y'all.
Yeah.
It was stupid to begin with.
Exactly. Okay. Wonderful Hump Day Wednesday. So that's the 22nd. Jack finds himself in the middle of a feud between Billy and Devon. Now, how did Jack get? He already got this situation going on with Kyle and his wife. He got a whole mess going on with Nikki and Victor. Then he's dealing with the situation with Ashley. Now he's in the middle of Billy and Devon.
He doing everything but be CEO at Jabot.
Yeah, while his son and his wife are going at it.
I know. I don't. And then you'll see that tomorrow as well. Diane is furious at Kyle. Kyle closed the deal because the dude who wanted to sign the deal thought Kyle was more competent. Get mad at him. Don't get mad at Kyle. If the guy say, hey, I want to close this deal with your company, but I feel more comfortable talking to this colleague, yeah, you might feel some kind of way, but you're wrong at the wrong person. He chose him. It's not like Kyle went after him. I mean, let me ask you guys that. So, if you all work in the same company, you about to get $1 million deal. He might not want to talk to you, but he want to talk to your colleague who y'all in good graces or whatever. Would you feel some kind of way about that, or are you just happy that the deal got done?
I would feel some kind of way depending on like what the reasoning is. This client says that they're not comfortable talking with me about it.
Mm-hmm.
But even if the client says that, Kyle can still consult with her and not just completely shut her out of everything like what it seems like he's doing. Because it looked to me like he was going behind Diane's back after she asked him, talk to me about this first. Let's discuss this before you close any deals or do whatever it is that they have to do to close this deal with this client. And Kyle completely disregarded what she said and called his assistant or whoever and proceeded to, I guess, finalize this deal before having that conversation with the co-CEO. So even if the client is saying that he's more comfortable dealing with Kyle, Kyle can still be respectful of the CEO position and still consult with him and get their opinion or suggestions or recommendation, whatever. And he's not doing that because he doesn't feel like he has to.
Yeah, true. What about you, Bree?
I would be relieved on a professional sense because you don't want to lose a client, but I'd be very pissed off at Jack because it's like he basically put her in a position to kind of embarrass herself, and he's not even there to like help guide her on the way. If that was like a major client, like why isn't Jack handling it? Or like it makes no sense that this man is out of the loop as much as he is, and Diane's not getting support from her husband or her business partner. And so I would be furious, but happy in a professional sense that at least Kyle handled it. I would be very irritated and emotional in my feelings, but I have to put that on the side personally and deal with my husband because that's the main person I'd be really upset with about all of this.
Yeah, I don't. He wanted her in that to work side by side with him so bad, and it's like, okay, but there's got to be a level of competency there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just don't throw me in a high level position that I'm not ready to take. And my thing is, even though she said, well, Kyle wanted to give you the position. Okay, Kyle didn't want it. But are you still yourself comfortable to competent enough to do the work? I mean, she could say, well, I don't know if I can do this. Even though Kyle don't want it. I know Jack want me to work side by side. I feel more comfortable pulling the talent in. Because, I mean, when you got clients saying, I don't know if I want to do this deal with this person, and there's messy work, because, I mean, from what we've seen in previous, now we're going by what's being in the Monday's episode. We'll find out, if anything is different or was the truth being told or whatever. But even before that, they were saying her work was shoddy. I don't know. I mean, now she claims she's been in the corporate world, but has she ever been in the C-suite? I'm not sure.
And that's what I don't understand with Jack. He didn't feel Kyle was capable or qualified to do the job, but he felt Diane was. I'm pretty sure he hears like the rumblings about like her work as like co-CEO. You would think that he would be like, hey, son, why don't you step in? I feel that you're ready. Let me move your mom down to the position that she qualifies for, like the janitorial position, and just handle this for me while I worry about other people's business. I would be perfectly fine if Jack did that.
Okay.
But I feel for Diane. She doesn't have her husband, and she doesn't really have a business partner.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead.
I thought, maybe I'm remembering it wrong. I thought Jack did initially want it to be Kyle, and Kyle was the one that said no, and that was when he offered it to Diane.
After he reviewed that stuff with Tucker and that plan, he had originally promised Kyle that position. Then he said, like, no, I don't feel he's ready. And then he gave it to Diane. They've been hot potatoing that CEO position, that co-CEO position. But Jack was adamant that he wanted Diane in that seat versus Kyle because he felt that Kyle wasn't ready yet.
Okay, so going back to the May 22nd spoiler. Yeah, I don't know. Jack being in the middle of this situation with Billy and Devon, it's like, why? I mean, let them figure it out. Billy left Jabot. Billy, you need to fight the fires that you're a part of. You just can't say, well, I'm going to do my own thing, but then you're going to pull Jack. I mean, I know that's his brother and all, but yeah, I don't get that part. So, the escape plan continues for Jordan on Wednesday. So, Cole obviously probably is going to figure out a way to get her out of there somehow. I don't think he's taking her side. I just don't think he wants her in that little tiny prison cell beneath the ranch.
Melissa Spencer says, I don't know about the janitorial position. I wouldn't trust Diane to clean my cat's litter.
Dang, that's funny. Melissa's hilarious. I'm sorry, Bree. You might have to cut off the Wednesday episode because Nate and Audra's relationship deepens as they spend quality time together.
Well, well, well.
No.
And you and hey, listen, that fits. Wonderful Hump Day Wednesday.
I will skim through it for you guys, and we'll probably talk about it.
Oh, I'm about to get my edits ready. So if you don't see it on YouTube, you'll see it on Instagram. Sorry, Bree.
Let's talk about it on Wednesday. I know.
All right, Thursday, Friday Eve, May 23rd. Victor is hotter than fish grease when he finds out about what Cole released in regards to Jordan. Jack and Tracy join forces to support Ashley. Doing what, though, is the question. What y'all gonna do? Y'all been trying to join forces and figure this thing out with Ashley for the last, 2 months?
Right.
What's different now in May? Okay. Oh, and that is also the 23rd. No, the 22nd is the last day of May sweeps, by the way. So, Nikki comes back also on Wednesday, too. So I guess rehab is over?
That was quick.
Maybe
That's rich people money.
maybe there's a time jump in Soap World, and this is like 3 months later or something.
What? So you mean?
I don't know. I'm just trying to make sense.
I know, because I'm like, wait a minute. So Jordan been down there for about 3 months now?
Victor would do that.
That's funny.
Care.
So she must have a shower.
Victor don't care about her taking showers. y'all think that man would really care if that woman could take a shower?
Ooh, but then can you imagine this? Can you imagine the smell down there? Oh my gosh.
And he liked it too. He cared about keeping her alive instead of giving it to authorities or like going about it the right way. He wanted to keep her down there, and she recognized what was, and was like, look, I'm a woman. I'm the best in the business. You get down here. Clearly, you like the aroma, the smell. Let's make this official. Otherwise, what is he keeping her down there for? It was not for anything. I don't know.
I'm curious. I mean, obviously, Melody took a break, but I'm curious about the fact that is she back just for a visit, or did she complete rehab? I mean, I guess.
I would assume she, to be back on screen, she's cured.
She's cured.
Yeah, because I don't think they just let people leave rehab for a break. I feel like they have to do their stint the entire time through, and then they go home.
Yeah, so maybe they gave her something in her IV and say, "Hey, you're detox. Bye."
Yeah, she used her she's used her wealth, she used her money. She got like a private person to help her with rehab, and she magically graduated.
Yeah. Yeah,
look at her. She's cured.
Yeah, she come in the door. Victor. Yeah, okay. We'll see. We move. Oh Lord, please. Okay, we go into cliffhanger TGIF Friday, May 24th. Claire reaches out to Summer asking for a second chance. What do you think Summer gonna say? No.
Claire needs to leave Summer alone. Like, she has already made her feelings clear about how she feels. She has every right to feel the way she does with everything that Claire has done to her family, brainwashed or not. I mean, the girl wasn't brainwashed enough to where she couldn't hold down a corporate job and flirt with men. You know what I mean? So, she's made her feelings clear about Claire. Claire just needs to back off, and if at some point Summer decides that she wants to give her a chance, or wants to, I don't know, improve their relationship or whatever, then let the ball be in Summer's court and let her make that decision. But I feel like everyone is trying to force Summer into this by constantly bringing it up to her and asking her why is she treating Claire the way she treats her, and that includes Victoria. Like, just leave it alone.
Yeah, I mean, you can't force nobody to change their mind about anything.
Yeah, and I can appreciate Claire going to her and saying, "Look, I turned the job down. This was why." But just leave it at that. We don't need to. You don't need to say anything else. You don't need to ask her for a chance. Just drop it.
Nope.
And let an issue breathe. That's the issue with I have with Victoria. Let an issue breathe. Let some time pass. Let people actually grow to like you. Like Claire already has like majority of the Newmans are on her side, so she knows at least Adam is. She knows Summer. She can at least try to work with. Just allow some time for that to happen. She likes for whatever reason to just keep poking at the bear. Like, why? And Victoria just wants whatever she likes people to like, and she for whatever reason wants to erase whatever Claire did from all of her viewpoints, and I guess especially Summers. And you know, Claire is this angel. She's done this. She's a sweet girl, and I hate how there's a forced expectation that we're supposed to have about Claire, even though we just seen her do such and such. I do not like that.
Did you guys?
And I don't.
Oh, go ahead. I thought you were done. I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good.
David Hall says Cole is going to be coming down them stairs thinking Victor got a fish market in the basement. Oh. Stop it.
We adore you, David Hall. You fit right in.
I mean, he's co-signing what Jay said earlier, talking about how we all know by now Jordan ASS stank.
And it's just like the Victor just pulls him in a chair just close, it's like in direct proximity of the aroma. Like, sir, like, this is why I feel this is a fetish for him.
There's no, I mean, even if she's been down there a week, there's no toilet there. Where is she relieving herself? You know what I'm saying? I mean, granted, yes, it's a soap, but I mean, you putting somebody in a cell that they can't get out, and she been drinking alcohol like crazy, so you know she's going to the bathroom. Question is where? Ew. Writers.
It's Victor's fault. It's Victor's fault. It's not our fault. It's Victor's.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so finishing up that TGIF Friday, May 24th. Yeah, that whole thing hits a crescendo with Victor Cole and Jordan. So, yeah, it looked like Jordan is faced with some decisions because you know Victor is hotter than fish grease right now. So, I'm wondering, is he going to be banished as quickly? Oh, okay, Keish. As quickly as Cole got into the family, Victor might kick his butt out. What you think, Bree?
This is so.
It's so crazy.
I need to see that. I need to see that face because he had. I need to see that face. That's all I'm gonna say. So I know we got to get to bold in a minute, but yeah, idiot, and that look on his face will be well deserved too.
Everybody in the comment section is asking about toilet paper. There's none. She don't even have a toilet to relieve herself in. I'll just say it like that. So, is the coroner?
He's sitting down there with the funk and the smell. He got Jordan exactly right where he wants her. Like, this man has made it very clear that he finds this woman to be somewhat appealing, and he is really utilizing this as a toy. That's all he's utilizing her as.
And that's a good mystery question. Unless she's been holding in for weeks, it's her number two. Girl, listen. If that's the case, you talking about a bowel obstruction. I just listen. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I know the comment section is going crazy.
The same
Okay,
could
all
be
right,
said about
Keish.
Sheila.
What'd you say?
The same could have been said about Sheila when she was in that alley.
Yeah. Even if Sheila was down there for 3 days, somewhere along the line you got to go to the bathroom.
Exactly.
And
And that man was kissing on her feet and her mouth, and it was like, oh my
listen, at least, I mean, Sheila was laying on a mattress, so obviously the mattress absorbed things. But as for, I know, but she's
Not the
laying.
nasty mattress.
Girl, listen, and she laying in it. Whereas Jordan, it's just all over the floor.
Oh. Yeah.
But
The
anyway,
writers did this.
yeah, that whole storyline just sucked. Get that woman up out that cell, send her to prison, do something with her. But leaving her down there is just ridiculous. All right, we got to jump in the bowl, but that was your spoilers. It looks like it's going to be a good week. I wouldn't say, I think they should have ended, unless there's some things that we'll see in dramatic fashion on the 22nd, which is the last day of spoilers. Sweeps for May. But okay, we'll see. I am curious to see what I'm interested in the whole winter storyline. I'm interested in the Audra and Nate storyline. Sorry, Bree. And yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Everything else is just like a wait and see for me. Yeah. Okay. Let's go to bowl. But before we do, how many people in the chat, girl?
Almost 100 people. We got 98. Thank you guys. It's been going up and down, but thank you.
Yeah, it's a little different. Usually we have close to like 1:30 on a Friday night. Everybody's gotten comfortable for that. I know this Sunday might be a little different. People might be going to church, spending family time. So that's understandable. And I appreciate the ones that did show up. Make sure you like and subscribe. Follow on all the other platforms. X and IG and TikTok and Threads. And we have the Facebook group as well. There's a blog and also on Rumble. So I think I covered all of them. All right. I'm not going to keep us waiting for Bold. So let's go on over to Bold. All right. So for the week of... Hold on. Let me switch this over here. Give me 1 second and something. Oh, that's why I pushed the wrong thing. Okay, so for the week of the 13th through the 17th, after Finn calls Sheila a hero, Steffi gives him an ultimatum, her or Sheila. As Brooke confronts Zende, RJ and Luna reunite before she suddenly throws up. Luna takes a pregnancy test and Steffi threatens Sheila and Brooke asks Ridge to put a ring on it. Brooke rips into Poppy about her mints. Hope is shocked when Deacon asks her to be part of the wedding. And Liam is irritating Deacon. Hope stands up to Steffi and Finn is shocked about the reveal that Deacon wants him to be his best man. All right. Let's carve out the Brooke situation.
This whole week was a ball of wax. You were talking. I was like, oh my goodness, like it's a mess this week.
Yeah. What y'all think about the conversation between Brooke and Zende? Because she wanted to not only send him to Forrester International, she wanted to send him to Forrester Antarctica, if that even exists.
If so, then she needs to be the CEO because the biggest hypocrite. The biggest hypocrite. We know her for always getting and intermingling with other people's men. This is all we know her for. For her to say like, oh, this is such a disgrace. How can you do that to your family? Keep in mind, he worked for Hope, the child that she created, getting involved with a family member, her husband, because this is why I was so upset. Why is this man crying in front of Brooke? If anything, he had nothing but years worth of ammo to throw at her and say, look, you can judge me and that's fine, but make sure you point a few of those fingers at yourself. You might like it, but still, point them at yourself, not me.
Yeah, I mean, she got the nerve to talk about this as your cousin. Brooke, that was your daughter. When it came to Bill, Brooke, that was your sister. I mean, and then when it came to Oliver, Brooke, that was your younger daughter. I mean, come on. And you got the nerve to be throwing stones and screaming and yelling at this dude.
Right. And not to mention, she has 5 children with 4 men, 3 of which are all in the same family.
Good breakdown. Good breakdown, Bree.
But has the, see, I know I do math equations here and there, but see, it's the fact that she has the gall to go up and judge Zende and judge him harshly. And she keeps bringing up the fact that he's family, but wants to ship off her family because he hurt her son.
Well, here's the other. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Even though she's done years worth of damage to the whole Forrester family, but anyway.
The other part of this thing is that RJ told her to stay out of it. And you not only confronting Zende, but then you turn around and confront Poppy too.
For once, I agree with RJ. That was not something that Brooke needed to stick her nose in. That was something that RJ and Zende and Luna could handle on their own. And he even said, like, this is Luna's business. So her going in there and getting into it with Zende over something that was Luna's, that heavily affected Luna, it was unnecessary. Because what is she going to do? Like, what does she need to know from Zende? She already believes that Zende didn't take advantage of her. So her main goal in that confrontation was to shame him for sleeping with his cousin's girlfriend. Again, like both of you just talked about, she is the last person to act appalled and clutch her pearls over somebody sleeping with a family member or significant other, because that's all she's done her entire life.
I got him.
She literally. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I was just gonna say that, in my opinion, that conversation, she shouldn't even be in this. If anything, this should be more of a lead Poppy Luna thing, not a Brooke, Zende, RJ thing, because she barely even knows Luna, in my opinion. Like, we've never really seen them in scenes together. And then even worse, her chastising Poppy. Like, is this the first time that the two of them have ever shared scenes?
Yeah,
that's why I was like, my goodness, you don't even know this woman. Like, I could understand Brooke being upset for her son, but not to this extent, to where she's like pulling people in the office and criticizing them. And I'm like, Brooke,
and trying to
you of all people
to Forrester International or Antarctica or whatever she was trying to do. Like, that was
crazy.
She was going overboard, and I don't blame RJ for being annoyed with her for doing that.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was gonna say, like, I didn't like the fact that she brought up Zende's mom. Like, what would your mom think about your actions? I'm like, well, your mom, Kristen could say a lot about Brooke's actions, and that's a character who I actually wish would come back, because I feel like Zende doesn't even have a real support system. But if there's anybody who can really give Brooke a run for her money, it would definitely be Kristen. And on top of it, she's a real Forrester. She knows how to design. I would hope somebody would kick Brooke out. Like, what is Brooke there for, except to just be a houseplant? She's just a fern, a cactus.
Mm-hmm.
Just sit there and do nothing, please.
I gotta mention the comment that Rachel said. She said on the plus side, should they ever need an organ donation, all of Brooke's children have a lot of options because everybody in town could be a match.
Oh goodness, that's so sad. It is so true. And that's why it's comical that she has a nerve to judge anybody's actions.
Right. I agree.
I would have been able to take that interaction, had Brooke, which we know she never does, sent to Zende, kind of like how Carter did, where he finally acknowledged like his BS when he was the last time together. He was like, "Look, I don't want you to make the same mistakes that I did. Like this is how this situation made me feel, and I don't want that for you." Blah blah blah. Like if she hadn't come at Zende that way, cool. But to just completely come down on him and not even acknowledge your own faults that the numerous mistakes that you have made in the past.
Right.
Yeah, that's trash.
Yes, it is. And I'm glad you brought that up, Keish, about the fact with Carter. You know, he was coming at Zende, but he was like, look, I'm going to use my example as a teaching moment. Instead of Brooks pointing the finger that way when three of them were pointing right back at her.
Right.
All right.
Pointing right back at her.
Now, this other storyline. Oh, I'm sorry, Keish. What'd you say?
I was saying all 10 fingers need to be pointing right back at
Exactly.
the number of mistakes she's made.
See, and that's why I wish there was a lot more like clapback dialogue with some of these storylines, because somebody could have easily said, Brooke, you have no leg to stand on. Like, I like the clapback moment that we're going to talk about with Steffi and Hope, that Hope had when we'll get there, but they need to have that. He could have easily, and I know he probably look at her as trying to be respectful, but it's like, ma'am, you're not the one to talk. I'm sorry.
I did though like that he said to her after she said, we need to send you to international. I did like that he said to her, like, with all due respect, I've earned my place in this company.
But didn't she turn around and say, but you ruined it or something? Like,
yeah, something.
I'm like, the fact that came out of her mouth, she has no legs to stand on. Pretty much just break her apart. She probably don't have no more legs left, to be honest.
Oh my God.
It's just a highway. It's just a canal at this point, because she's made it 30 plus years in the game for Forrester doing such. That's all we know her for at this point.
Mm-hmm.
For her to sit here and to judge what Zende did to her precious RJ. And then she's like, we got to tell Ridge. For Ridge to do what?
Right, because he was a part of that. He did that himself, and Eric. We were talking about that on the Wednesday chat.
Yeah. Because if you're going to blame Zende, then your precious Ridge, if he even remotely tries to come down on Zende, I would be furious, because he has done it not once but twice in his life.
Yeah. Well, we know that they won't let them acknowledge that.
Oh, the fans are going to make sure that's acknowledged. They're going to make sure that foot is on that neck when it comes to that, because it's not fair to put all that blame on Zende when there's men on the show, including Brooke's precious Ridge, who did the same thing. Actually, Ridge did that to her.
I heard somebody did it multiple times. It was more than once. Was that Eric or was that Ridge? Somebody, Caroline? With Caroline? Yeah. So.
This is like season 2. When she was married to Thorne, he knew that she was drunk. He hopped in the bed, and you know what happened. And then same thing with Brooke. She was on a pill. Well, she took a pill. She told him to leave, and he, this is why it doesn't make any sense why they're putting all of this hate and this venom on Zende, especially like online. I hated seeing that.
Yep. So.
And Brooke's comment didn't make it any better.
No.
I think it just
not at all.
It drew more fuel to the fire for Zende's character, and I hated that.
Well, now moving on to the other part of this storyline is the pregnancy test, which what for? And see, Bree and I talked about this on Wednesday. I threw this speculation out there. If she's not pregnant, is something else wrong with her that is the reason why she's not feeling well? Otherwise, if there's no sickness, there's no pregnancy, what was that for?
Another wasted filler, ridiculous scene that didn't need to happen.
So all y'all wanted to do is, yeah, all they wanted to do is give us shock value when they showed us that on the Friday preview from the week of May 10th, and it's like everybody was like, "Ooh, do we have another Who's the Baby Daddy storyline?" But then they had to remember that everybody, well, Zende talked about protection, and she talked about the fact that she was on the pill. Okay, so she's not pregnant. What was that for? Is she sick? Is her other symptoms showing us something else? And then why do you think that after throwing up you go straight to, oh, I'm pregnant? You could have ate a bad burrito at lunch or something.
Right.
This was a glorified Tums commercial. That's all this was. She just needed to take her antacids, and we knew this. It could have been a multitude of things. She was a young girl. The fact that she went straight to, I'm pregnant. Girl, if anything, it's probably the stress, but it sounds like she just had the bubble guts, and she just needs to take her antacids. That's what all of this pretty much led to, a glorified Tums commercial.
Yep, I don't think it's going any further than this. I don't think it's going to reveal some kind of medical issue. I don't think anything else is going to come of this little ridiculous pregnancy scare. That was so unnecessary.
So you just think they just threw it in there just as a filler for shock value?
I think I kind of take it like a blooming onion. I think there's just layers to what they're trying to do. I think this is supposed to expose this new rift that Brooke and Poppy are going to have, and that maybe Luna might start leaning more towards Brooke as a mother figure and kind of paint Poppy as this bad person or something. I think that this could also kind of create like a power play or power struggle between like Zende and RJ for, to be like a top designer there. Like I feel there's different layers that they opened up with this.
If they've been go in the direction of having Zende compete with RJ, who's been drawing for like 3 months, as far as like a struggle, a power struggle of being a lead designer on something, this would just make people hate the RJ character even more. Zende has been designing for like what, 6, 7, 8 years now.
Yeah.
I don't remember when he first debuted on the show.
Longer than RJ.
But yeah. So that's one of the things that even frustrates me about this competition between the two of them, because RJ is not at the level of Zende when it comes to designing. Zende he's trained, he's formally trained and educated in design, and RJ just decided one day to start drawing.
Right.
They got to cut it out with that.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. Yep, but that whole thing was stupid to me. And now RJ and Luna are back together, and then she worried about a pregnancy that didn't exist. It could be a false positive. Who knows? It could be a medical situation. Who knows? But, I do know, we'll talk about that in the spoilers later. Somebody else in their medical issue. But, it's like Key said, it had to be just stupid and just for shock value. If the girl's not pregnant or she's not sick. So.
You know what else disgusts me about this storyline is the way that Luna keeps. It's like she downs her. What is that called? When somebody, I don't want to say she has low self-esteem, but it's like she keeps saying how basically she's a terrible person and RJ deserves better, and
self-pity.
Yeah, something like that. It's like she digs at herself to uplift RJ.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Like self-deprecating.
And
it's just gross. Like they have made this whole thing about RJ.
That he's the victim.
Yeah, Yeah, even Luna is making it about RJ. She hasn't taken herself into consideration not once since this has happened.
Nope, I agree with you. Oh, yeah, that's crazy. Okay. Now we got to shift to the beginning of the week because Finn skipped his way all the way to the Cliff House to break that story down. I mean, he was happy and excited. And then by the time Steffi got through with him with that ultimatum, his face looked just like that in the corner. But he wasn't being honest with himself because he told her, I always choose you, when you just told Sheila last week, we're never going to be apart again. Now, we brought this up, I think it was in the chat, about Finn being a people pleaser. That's going to blow up in your face. You can't say yes to this person and then somebody on the opposing side, you say yes to that person too. It's just not gonna work. Somebody is you're gonna have to give, and she gave him an ultimatum: pick me or pick her, or it's it.
Finn wasn't being honest with himself when he was in that warehouse talking to Sheila, thinking that, I guess, because he believes that Sheila tried to save Steffi's life, thinking that Steffi was going to also believe it and accept it. Like, he wasn't being honest with himself from that point on. So he's like in La La Land and being delusional about this whole thing.
Yeah, he just thought that she was gonna be like, oh my God, really? I did not unalive her.
Yeah.
What you got, Bree?
He knew better.
Mm-hmm.
It's so sad that he's tanking his own relationship, but like he for whatever feels there's a redeeming quality in Sheila. I still have not seen it, but I'm glad that he, for now, chose his wife. But he knew better. Like, why would he ever think his wife would ever forgive the person who put a bullet in her? Why? And in her family. And the thing is, it's not like he is brand new to this information. He's known about this for years. So Steffi hearing that Sheila is alive, he knew that reaction was going to terrify her. And can I also say, we haven't seen him with Lee yet. And I have like he went to work, is all happy, and why do we get to see a whole conversation with him and Hope, but not him and Lee? But that's a whole side thing. He really needs to kind of what's the term I'm looking for? Like, just pay attention to not his surroundings, but like read the room.
Yeah.
Like, your wife is happy that she's gone. She feels relief thinking that she's gone. Your news was going to wreak havoc, and your wife is going to, knowing Steffi, she's going to make you choose, and she's going to hold you to that.
And that's been it from like the beginning of their relationship, from the moment that the day of their wedding. She held off on signing those marriage papers because she didn't know if he was going to want Sheila to be in his life or not. And from that point, he chose to be with Steffi. So for him and everybody else that is, a Sheila supporter, as far as Deacon and now Hope and Finn, to make Steffi out as if she's the bad guy in the situation and being irrational, and to me doesn't make any sense, because she has not budged from this situation, from the way that she feels about Sheila from that day forward.
I know what makes her irrational.
It's always been that. Other than the small moment where Taylor convinced her to allow Sheila to spend time with him. But other than that, it's always been like she doesn't want anything to do with Sheila. So for him to act like, I don't know, I don't want to say that he seemed surprised or anything like that, but for him to even think that she would change her mind, it just, I don't know.
LaShanta Stack said Finn and Hope drunk from the Kool-Aid, and that's so true. That's so true.
What Kool-Aid?
thinking that Sheila has changed. I'm sorry, and
I mean,
that's what she said. Sheila's no hero.
technically, the girl haven't done anything in 2.5 years. She hasn't. I mean, the whole thing, she fell in love, or what we thought, with Bill, which was then turned up to be a setup where we had Ridge coming back with all his facial hair and his hair grown down to his neck, and the FBI story going wrong, and then the saving of because we had Thope most of last summer, and then the saving of Kelly, and then they disappeared off the scene for the last 5-6 months, and then they brought her back. I mean, we saw Sheila and Deacon sitting in the background smiling and laughing at Bill and Poppy, but that's it. That's it. The last thing that she's done was switch them labels, and then that, of course, Miss I'm always in control, chasing people that you shouldn't chase, which she did it again for the third time. But she hasn't done anything in 2.5 years. What do you think about that?
That's 2 years in comparison to 3 decades. And, like, that's great that she has slowed down and she realized that she can't keep running and running the streets like she was before, but she's caused issues for people in LA, people for Genoa City. She's not innocent. That's not somebody who can say that they changed. And what pisses me off is Finn is so all for Sheila's a whole changed woman. She could do no wrong. She's here to protect the family, but has the gall to still trash Thomas and saying that Thomas hasn't changed, that people should hide their kids from it. Like, where is the logic? How is Sheila more sane and more put together, but Thomas isn't?
Right.
Like and on top of that, I need to see him really try to defend Sheila to Lee, that's who his real mother is. Really defend your birth mother to Lee at this point with that logic.
And they're hanging her change on Sheila's word of I tried to save Steffi's life.
And I don't even believe that.
Yeah, that's what they're hanging.
Well, and
that's
see,
what he's hanging his opinion of Sheila changed, because in that whole conversation with Steffi that he had, that's what he kept saying to Steffi was, well, she tried to exchange your life for hers. She loves us. She loves you and the kids. That's a fact. And it's like, what? It's a fact, right?
Well,
and he also said it was a fact that she tried to save Steffi. You're basing that off of the word of a known liar, somebody that has been a liar for 30 years. That's what you're basing it on. You're just taking Sheila's word for it. Like, come on now.
So I mean, there's nothing in, because here's the other thing with Liam, because he keep talking about my daughters over there. Everybody is blowing past, not you, I'm not talking about fans, but on the show, they blowing past the fact that this woman did save Kelly. I mean, nobody brings that up. Y'all keep going back 2.5 years ago, which they have every right to. They can feel the way that they want to. The thing is that, okay, what are the events up until this point? And so they're not looking at anything to keep, well, she shot me. Okay, we got that. I mean, technically you didn't have to get that bullet, but you chased it, so you got it. But anyway, the other thing after that, it's just like, she did save Kelly. I mean, she could have just said, that's Steffi's daughter, let her go. Ain't my grandkid. That's Liam's kid. Forget it. No. She went out there in the ward and saved it because Finn wasn't paying attention. But nobody sees that between both Steffi or Liam at all. And he continuously talk about the fact that my daughter is over there. Well, your daughter technically wouldn't be here if she hadn't saved her.
Her saving Kelly's life does not erase her trying to kill Kelly's life.
Then, in that case, nobody should be given the option for redemption or forgiveness. Because at some point, if a person wants to change, At what point do we allow them to do so?
She can change if she wants to, but however, I don't have to accept you in my life.
Right.
Because
Exactly.
you tried to unalive me multiple times.
That's
And you did
fine.
the same with my mother. You did the same with my grandmother. You did the same with Eric and Brooke and whoever else in her life that she tried to harm. In addition to people that are not in her family.
And
So it's nice. Sheila can never ever take the life or try to take the life of another individual again. It still would not change the fact that you did what you did to me, and I don't want to have anything to do with you because of it. I don't care if she donates every single dollar of her earnings to some charity or saves however many other lives. You still tried to take my life purposely. So it's great that you changed it. You're not doing that anymore. However, that doesn't mean that I have to forget or forgive what you tried to do to me.
then Steffi should stay away from her.
Yes, she should.
I agree with that.
I agree with that.
Because my thing is, you can't
However,
be.
Steffi's husband also needs to stay away from her because he is in Steffi's life, and we all know that if she was to say, okay, you deal with your mom, I just don't want her over here. That'll be good for about 6 months, and then when the holidays roll around, what's going to happen? Well, can I come over and spend the holidays with you and the kids? And when Steffi says no,
exactly,
the bad guy.
And that's fine. Steffi and Finn don't need to be together. This whole situation has been toxic between the two of them. Finn need to get gone. I'm all for that. Steffi can go right there, go that way over to Liam. Because, I mean, she give Liam all the grace. He comes over to the house, sit, kiki, laugh it up. Get with who you need to be with. We still had kisses. Them two do not need to be together at all. I'm over it.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that either. And if, as a matter of fact, if I were Steffi, I wouldn't have even given Finn the ultimatum. I just would have told him to get out because apparently he can't get past wanting a relationship with his birth mom. So if you want to be with this woman, have a relationship with this woman who has tried to take me away from my children and from you and from the rest of my family, you gonna have that relationship with her. There's no ultimatum. You just get out of my house and you go have a nice life with your birth mom. And we'll see how that works out for you.
Yeah, I agree. Put them in that tuna can with Sheila, Deacon, and Hope, and they all just sit there smelling themselves together. Call it a day. So.
See, and I guess where I'm biased at with Steffi is because if she was just minding her business and Sheila came up just like Sugar did that night, but rewinding back to 2022, Sheila just actively came after her and did what she did. That whole thing had a whole level of precipitation to it. And then you want to, and I know I keep going down that rabbit hole with that, and I know that's 2.5 years ago, but obviously this storyline is still bringing up what happened in that alley. And the thing is that just like, what was that, 2-3 days ago, this girl claimed she couldn't even go to work because of Sheila looming. But you were just at her house the day before, knocking at the door. The girl was up in there, eating apple slices. You came over there in her face, yelling and screaming, but then you can't go to work because you worried about Sheila? Make that make sense. Stay away from her. And then if you and Finn can't work this out, Finn need to go that way, you need to go that way. And y'all figure out this arrangement with this kid. I just don't, she is just too controlling to me. I don't like her attitude. She thinks she can control everything. Hope tried to tell her about herself.
I don't think, so in my opinion, her asking her husband to stay away from the woman who tried to take her out is not a controlling thing. I don't think she should have to compromise in that situation.
She don't have to, but she don't have to tell him how to think and how to feel. I don't like when people try to tell other people how to think. And that's what she's doing. And it's one thing if she's say, hey, you know what, you need to figure that out. That gives him the opportunity to figure it out, but it is saying either this or this. And she know that man loves her. She knows
I'm not
that.
giving you an opportunity to figure it out. It's either because it's been 3.5 years. It's either you want a relationship with her or you want to be married to me.
Because he can't have it both ways. He's flip flopping. At least I feel like he's flip flopping now. Because one minute he's standing 10 toes down when it comes to like, you can't be around my kids or my wife. You stay away. I want nothing to do with you. And then 2 weeks we saw him hug and like kiss his mom, like your mom of the year. I don't know where I've been without you. And it's like, man, what are you doing? Your wife has no clue as to where you stand regarding Sheila, and that's unfair. I completely agree with you. Steffi should not be busting into Sheila's place like Sonya Blade. I completely agree. She has no right to do that. She has a genuine fear, though. I do get that. She's not doing the right thing going about it. I'll say that. But she's made her feelings very clear to her husband, and she's looking to him as her protector, as her support, as, her partner. And her partner's opening a door for that same horrible person to be in her family, around her kids, around her house. And it's like she has every right to choose to not deal with Sheila, but how can she? It's like Finn is a part of her life, so it's like it comes with Finn, unfortunately, if he's choosing to do that. That's why I feel it's so unfair for Steffi in this case. And she really wanted to try to make it work with her husband, but he's being foolish. And the whole homeless man is the whole officiant at the dang wedding.
Right.
What'd you say? What'd you say, Keish?
I don't know. We like to, well, not we, but you like to blame Steffi for if she never would have followed her in the alley, none of this would have happened. But also, if Sheila would have continued minding her business instead of crashing that wedding and revealing that she's Finn's mom, we can also say this never would have happened. But she chose to orchestrate her reveal because Finn was connected to the Forcers. Had nothing to do with wanting to reconnect with her son, who was 35 or 36 years old at the time. It was because she wanted to insert herself in the Forcers' lives, and that was her way of doing it. Knowing that this family hates her guts. So she also put herself in a situation to where none of this could have happened.
I'm reading some of these comments.
This isn't all on Steffi. And I know people like to make Steffi the scapegoat because she is a controlling individual and she runs her mouth, but I'm not going to blame her for Sheila doing what she did when she didn't have to do that, because she had the opportunity to. She could have stood there and argued with her. She didn't need to pull out a gun and shoot her. Especially considering Finn already knew what the information about the wine bottle. She told her. She was like, I've already told Finn. So what was her shooting Steffi going to do to stop that information from getting out?
Yep. Oh, I'm listening to you guys, but these comments are wild.
And we're all over the place. We're all over the place. I was looking at the message from Trish.
Oh, Trish is in there?
No. In the group chat, she said she had lost her cell phone.
Oh, I didn't see that.
She missed the podcast.
Missed the okay.
Still no power, no internet.
Oh yeah, because Texas got hit hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, my other.
Stay safe, Trish.
Yeah, one of my other friends, they just got their power on this morning. I think it had been out since Thursday. Yeah, I think it was some tornadoes or something going on down there.
Yeah, it's a tornado, pretty bad tornado.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, going back to this storyline, so now the information came out that those two are getting married, and they got it. We see that Deacon wanted Hope to be Sheila's maid of honor,
which is ridiculous.
Which I don't. That part I don't get. Why?
I don't get that on Hope's part of her even considering that, knowing what Sheila did to her own mother.
Right.
Yeah, I don't. Usually the maid of honor is. I mean, obviously she don't have any friends, but this would have been a way for them to bring back Daisy or something. You know what I mean? If they, because why would you get Hope to be your maid of honor? That makes zero sense. And then Finn to be his best man.
Which they don't even have a relationship.
Exactly.
It would
But they know.
Oh, sorry.
And also, but they know it's going to be like a pin in the Forrester's spine, just by even inviting them and having them go.
It would have made more sense if they either just would have kept it at an invite, or if he asked Hope to be like his best woman and Finn to be whatever it's called.
Well, to walk his mom down the aisle, you know.
Yeah, or that. Hope being her maid of honor makes absolutely no sense because they don't have a relationship either.
And she's only playing nice to support her dad, not to support Sheila.
Which still doesn't make sense to me because before this, she was completely against them being together. She even told him, like, you're not allowed to see the kids as long as you're with her. And then suddenly, now, all of a sudden, she wants to support her dad and Sheila's relationship.
I don't know. I'm wondering if this got something. I think, to me, as what we saw on Friday, is this low-key got something to do with sticking it to Steffi?
Yes. And that clip.
Yeah. If she's purposely doing it, yes, it does make sense. But if she isn't purposely doing it, although she knows it gets under her skin, if she, like, honestly believes that Sheila deserves redemption or has been redeemed, that part doesn't make sense to me. Not from her.
Gotcha.
Yeah, this would be a complete split. But that little stuff that she said to Brooke and to Ridge, like this isn't about my dad and Sheila for me. So then, what is it about then?
Well, she said at the end of that clip that she's lost everything so far. So what is it? I guess you still got Beth. Invisibeth.
Right.
She said she's lost so much, so
she's thinking about Thomas and
her boyfriend, Thomas and then
Douglas.
Also Thomas being her head designer. Yeah,
I was so irritated by that. I had so much to say about that.
Well, and again, and I know I kind of talked about this in the chat about a week or so ago. I think all of this craziness is just to get everybody up in arms, have the conversation, because they need the viewerships for May Sweeps. Because that's how they get the biggest money months, off of the commercials and endorsements, because they hype up the storylines to get more people watching so that they can get ranked and all that type of stuff. So, I mean, because some of this stuff don't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like that whole, what we were saying about the pregnancy test. Why did you throw that in? Just to get everybody to watch on Monday or Tuesday to see the results?
It was a Tums commercial.
To me, it was clickbait. You know how clickbait is? They'll have a video and it'll say something crazy to get everybody like, oh my God. And then you click into it and now you got all these views. It was straight up clickbait.
Yeah. It was a clickbait to a Tums commercial. Just take your antacids, girl. That's all we've learned from all of this.
And then Liam he never at work. He's at Il Giardino. He's over at Forrester. One day he's looking for Steffi. One day he's looking for Hope. One day he's there for a meeting. It's like, do y'all meet at, where's the Spencer offices?
Right. We have not seen that since Wyatt, and that's been months.
Yeah. We supposed to assume Bill is somewhere in the world working, I guess.
I guess so. So this is why we need some more people on the show. I really would love for Kristen to come back. I would love to see Kristen and Bill. I would love for Kristen to come and just take over the Forrester clan. Like, look, I'm the real Forrester. I'm a talented designer as well. I feel I can, make sure my son is able to succeed and look out for his interests. They need more people on the show.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I agree. Go ahead, Bree.
Now I was gonna say because I miss Dollar Bill. I was thinking about that. It's like I miss Dollar Bill Spencer.
Mm-hmm.
Like this nice guy thing is just not for me.
Yeah.
What's that?
Now this conversation, because we got to touch on a little bit more. This conversation between Hope and Steffi. She finally brought up Thomas and how she was pissed off at Steffi for not minding her business by getting involved in her relationship with Thomas. And she said, yeah, that's my brother. I'm supposed to, in so many words. And then when she started talking about Finn, Steffi told her to stay out of her business. And she was like you tell me to, like you tell me to stay out of, or however she did that clap back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was a cute little clap back. I feel that she could have really dug into her.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like Hope, she'll, subtly give a little bit of shade, but then kind of retracts back.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Steffi, she is just a
Full throttle.
yeah, with everything that she says. And it's like, geez, that's not even the energy that Hope's bringing. But Hope is right. Like, look, Steffi, you're always in everybody's business. That's why you're always in the predicaments that you're in all the time. And I am starting to see the vindictiveness with Hope, unfortunately. You can tell she's bitter. And my question is why? She was happy to say no to Thomas. And if she really missed this man as much as she said that she did and loves him, he's a plane ride away. Steffi's not stopping her from taking a plane ride to go see Thomas and Douglas. So I don't know why she's in the office, just back and forth, just angry and mad with Steffi when she has the ability to go on a plane to go see her man that she so wants. So
Girl,
badly.
she busy keeping up with Finn.
Exactly. You're too busy being vindictive. Further kind of proving Steffi's point that you're more so about yourself and about who wronged you and what you're not getting. And if you were really all for Thomas, you would have gotten a plane and went to go see your man and your child that you say you love and miss so much.
Yeah, and then another shock factor that they did is the whole thing with Ivy. She was only for 2 days, and then poof, she's gone. And they haven't mentioned anything about her since Steffi pulled him out of that restaurant.
Yeah, that seemed like such a pointless.
It was dumb.
I would have rather them bring one of Sheila's kids on for 2 days than Ivy. Like that could have made more sense to anything that was going on than having Ivy show up.
Yeah, and then she was talking about kissing on Liam and how much she would love to spend time with him, and then poof, she's gone after Steffi was like, yeah, he need to come home and see about Kelly.
And then that was it.
And that was it.
And weren't we supposed to see an interaction between Hope and Ivy too, and like a couple of days of back and forth banter between those ladies?
Girl, she was here for 2 days, and that was it. That was it.
That was so unfortunate.
Yeah. Did you all notice the hair change in Steffi?
I did. Yeah, DeWan had pointed that out too. Yeah, I did see the 40-pound hat that Steffi had on her head.
Yeah, I can't stand when they put wigs on her or whatever.
They didn't need to, because right after the Emmys, her hair was dark, straight, and right below her shoulder. Just a little bit below her shoulder, remember? That was her hair, because she wore that style to the Emmy Awards.
Yeah.
When did they, because that was, was that December?
Yeah, I think that was December.
That was in December. Yep, that was in December.
Remember that she had like a...
You broken up, Bree.
Yeah, I said it was like a Sharpie black hair color, but she loves wearing very heavy wigs.
Yeah, well, Annika been wearing her own hair, so she's just been styling it different ways. She cut it off, and then, she's been styling it. Because I kind of got used to Jacqueline's actual hair. And then when I saw her this week, I'm like, okay. Okay, they put all the hair back in there.
They brought everything back. They brought the wigs back. They brought the high mini skirts. I'm like, girl, you are CEO mini skirt. What CEO is walking around their office like this? Seriously.
Yeah, and I gotta give a shout out to that necklace that Kimberly Brown had on, the bling.
Right. You saw the picture.
Girl,
Oh
I
my
saw
daddy
when
taking
she was
care of
on
her.
screen. When I saw the episode, I'm like, whoa, where you get that from?
Daddy taking care of her. He got her allowance. She's spending her money. She is soft girl era. He getting her all her stuff to get her pedicures, her manicures, everything for him, new outfits, like everything. There's a complete glow up with Sheila, and either that's coming from her expense account or her daddy or Daddy Deacon's taking care of her.
Yeah, I'm
I
like, go ahead.
I was gonna say either which way, she's spending that money and spending it well, diamond necklaces and all.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. Did we cover all of the storylines this week? Because we got to talk about the spoilers for the week of the 20th.
I
Is
believe.
Keish, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, okay, okay. I'll just make sure. I'm like, it got quiet over there, girl. Okay, hold on. All right. So let me pull up, and I thought I still had that screen open. Give me 1 second. Dang. Okay, I gotta go back in there. All right, so let's talk about these spoilers for Bold for the week of the 20th through the 24th. So the week for Magnificent Monday, May 20th, the week kicks off as Finn and Hope grapple with the tough decision about whether he's going to be the best man or she's going to be the maid of honor. So we kind of talked about that a little bit because that comes from Friday. Also on Monday, we got Steffi is expressing her frustration that Hope may be having some influence over Finn.
I mean, everything's having influence on Finn, it seems like. And the thing is, he's pretty much made up his mind about how he feels about his mother. He's pretty much forgiven her. And there's nothing that's really going to change that.
Yeah.
I noticed that people are trying to also compare the way Steffi was in, I guess, in Thomas's ear, or he left, and how Hope is in Finn's ear, I guess, about being supportive of him and him wanting a relationship with Sheila.
Yeah.
And it's like apples and oranges.
Exactly. Those are two different things. One, because Steffi and Thomas are siblings, and regardless of if Steffi is, wrong in her opinion or not about her and Thomas's relationship, she has had the same opinion the entire time. She thinks that she's doing it because that's her brother and she's looking out for him. Hope and Finn they barely have a friendship. So I don't buy for a second that she's doing this because she just wants to support Finn. It's two different things to me. You're supporting him basically having a relationship with a woman that tried to take out his wife and his mom, and people are comparing that to Steffi feeling like her brother's love isn't reciprocated from the woman he's dating. And I guess her recommendation for him to leave the country.
It's like two different things.
Yeah.
I can't compare those two things.
Okay.
No. And Hope is really making her position very known. She likes the position that she's in with Finn. And like I knew as soon as she started showing thigh meat and her chesticles and shoulder and everything, and always choosing to make time for Finn. she's able to make time for Finn, go to his job, go to Sheila's house, go here, wherever he's at, to try to prove a point to Steffi. I think this is all this was. Because I highly doubt she cares about like Sheila changing. Like, yeah, that's crazy to me. But she has all this effort towards Finn, but not to get a plane ticket to go see Thomas, who she's crying about.
I still don't believe that she is like romantically into Finn. I think a lot of this is going to just be her, like you said, trying to prove a point to Steffi of being somebody else's marriage, relationship, whatever. It really pissed me off though when she said to Finn, trying to convince Finn to go to that wedding with her because, quote unquote, it'll be easier for me to be there if you're there too. And then telling him, take your wife out of the equation. Would you go if it wasn't for your wife? And it's like, this, you can't really take her out of the equation because the whole reason why this is an issue is because of what Sheila did to her and what Sheila did to him. So it doesn't even make sense to say that.
Yeah.
Or to even suggest that.
Gotcha. Okay, Tuesday, May 21st. Steffi is shocked as she discovered the news that Sheila and Deacon is engaged and getting married.
I don't know why she cares.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, Liam went over there. He's not happy with. Remember, that was also part of this past week. Liam wasn't happy about the joy that Deacon had about his relationship with Sheila either. It's like, if they're not bothering you, why do you care? Why do you got to get involved in whether or not they get engaged?
Exactly. Go to work, Liam. Go to work.
Meanwhile, Finn steps in to help Hope with a sudden medical issue on Tuesday. I'm wondering what that is. Now, a lot of people in my comment section is wanting Hope to be pregnant.
No.
So
I have always maintained that I don't want Hope to be pregnant until her and Thomas's relationship is solid. Because I don't want there to be any misunderstanding of they're only together because she's pregnant.
Now, Keish, would that be soapy?
If they're together only because she's pregnant?
No, that would be soapy. But like you said, because I agree with you, they need to be on, as you said, stable ground in their relationship and then a baby. But knowing Belle, who knows?
I feel like considering all of the drama that they have had, from the moment that Matt Atkinson took on the Thomas role, we don't need this situation to be soapy. Because it would be the opposite of what everyone would expect. Is for them to actually plan for a child, then it's to accidentally happen, and then it's like, well, I don't want another failed family, so I guess I need to finally commit to Thomas, kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm wondering what this medical issue is.
It's probably going to be just as pointless and stupid
as their pregnancy test.
Or maybe it could be where, like, let's say, like, kind of what T was saying earlier, that could be like an unknown medical issue that Luna's going through. What if Hope notices that, and let's say Luna wants to try to keep it quiet, but Hope wants to try to help Luna? She could tell Finn, and then we can loop Finn into the Poppy Luna storyline, and they can finally finish that storyline.
But it's supposed to be Hope that's got the medical issue.
Right.
Oh, Hope has it. Oh, crap.
Yeah, it's her. Yeah, something going on with her.
Take your antacids then. My goodness.
I mean, whatever this is, it's supposed to bring these two closer. So maybe it's something he runs some tests, and then he got to keep it a secret, and this is a secret between, I don't know. I mean, because I know Matt Atkinson is coming back. That information came out this past week, a few days ago. And he's back filming, so we probably won't see him to the middle of June. Maybe middle toward the end of June. Well, they're about 4 weeks behind, so This is what, middle of May. So yeah, but we'll probably see him about the middle of June toward the end of June, somewhere like that. But my question is, what is he coming back to? Is he coming back for Hope? Is he coming back with something else? If that's gonna be interesting. But this whole thing, I don't know. I'm curious to find out. But here's the thing, Keish, and I agree with you. It should not be a situation where she has to feel impelled to be with him because she's pregnant. But could that be a way that they make him come back because something's going on with her?
I mean, I guess they could. But how will he find out if her and Finn will be keeping it a secret?
Maybe she'll call him, or I don't know. Everybody keep doors unlocked. Maybe they'll hear a conversation and somebody find out. Who knows?
Yeah.
All right, Wednesday, Hump Day Wednesday. Brooke, Ridge, and Steffi tried to stand together to get through to Hope. That obviously comes in that conversation where we saw that Friday preview of her saying, this is, I lost everything, blah 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 blah.
Which she chose. She chose to not marry the man who was solely focused on her.
Yeah, you chose to do that, and he took off. So, and then
hope she's not going to take accountability for that. It's all Steffi's fault.
Yep. As much as Steffi was a busybody, it was up to Hope to make a decision. She didn't have to listen to Steffi.
And it was also up to Thomas to decide.
Exactly. Yeah, he didn't have to leave if he didn't want to.
And I would say the same thing about if he decides to go to that wedding, although Hope was in the office basically trying to encourage him to do it or convince him to do it. Ultimately, it would be his decision made if he did end up doing it.
Okay.
Blame anybody but him.
Okay, so that is okay. Also on Wednesday, Sheila makes an outrageous request of Finn. So we already got Deacon making the request to be the best man. What else is she gonna ask him? To plead him to be at that wedding? That's the only thing I can think of.
Maybe she'll finally ask him to walk her down the aisle.
That's possible. All right, Friday Eve, Thursday, May 23rd. The day everybody has been dreading arrives, which is Sheila and Deacon's wedding ceremony begins on Thursday. And y'all got a glimpse of what her dress looked like. Somebody did say that she'll probably be wearing black, which it fits.
I wish Brooke would be more honest.
It would just, hey, wait a minute. Bree, she didn't show up wearing white, right?
She wore black.
She wore black.
She wore black. I wish Brooke would always be more honest when it comes to all of her weddings.
I gotta give it to Kimberlyn. The girl wear her push-up bras. Anytime she realized that she gotta show some cleavage, she wear her push-up bras.
She has that down. Good for her. But she looked amazing in that dress. Kimberlyn looks beautiful. Yeah, the girls are sitting. You know what I mean? So, but she, even when she pop her top open, when her and Deacon them, they do their little thing back at the house, she always got that little black bra on. You know what Daddy likes.
Oh, Lord. Now, some people don't like her calling him Daddy.
That's her man. She happy. Like, she's getting them toes. All 9 of them toes are tingling. That man is taking care of her. She happy in that tuna can with that pull-out couch and just living her life. That's Daddy to her.
Oh, Lord. I'm curious to see, because there's Friday, the cliffhanger episode, May 24th. Deacon and Sheila's wedding reaches climax, and just when you've seen it all, the unexpected happened, leaving us on our edge of our seats. So is Steffi gonna show up and blow up the wedding, or somebody else? Huh? What you say?
I feel like Finn's gonna show up last minute.
So you think he's gonna show up and not be there already?
Yeah, I think he's gonna show up at the last minute.
Okay. Yeesh. Yeah. Well, I'm curious. I'm a She-Con fan, but they also got the. How did they get the homeless guy to officiate the wedding?
And I'm so glad you brought that up. I'm so glad you brought that up. Of all, and of course Sheila would know who that was.
Yeah. I mean, who found them? Did Deacon? I'm curious how they gonna bring him into this. Did Deacon go back and find him? Did Sheila already know the man? Because if she knew the man, like you say, Bree, he may be the one that's taking care of her. If this is all on Deacon to say, hey, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be marrying her, and I want you to do this. So I guess we'll see which direction to play out.
That's what I assume it's going to be. Is Deacon went and found him because he helped her, or he helped him find Sheila.
Mm-hmm.
Offers him a job or something.
Yep. So majority of this week is going to be about the fallout of this wedding. So look like we just going to have one big goobity gop of a storyline to talk about next week, because I don't see any signs of Lee or RJ, Luna, none of that stuff. Now I'm seeing rumors, because I don't have anything solid, that people are saying that Zende might be fired. I don't know, because Ridge is supposed to find out or something. We will see. I would have to see an official spoiler on that.
The things I would say on this podcast if that happened, the things I would say about Pinecone, Poppy, Brooke, everybody, it would be a lot. To fire him, because I saw a lot of that too. Fire him for what? For one, and a lot of people would have to be fired for their actions.
Yeah.
If that's the case.
Yep.
That sucks.
That sucks if that's the case. Yes, it does. All right, we're going to quickly get through. That's all of the spoilers for this upcoming week. Like I said, it's mainly about, the upcoming fallout of the wedding, and then by Friday, whatever the twist and turn, maybe like Keish said, Finn will show up at the last minute or something. Who knows? So we'll see. All right, so we're gonna do our flip the script for Young and the Restless for this past week. What y'all got?
For me, it was Kyle in his little last minute decision to ask Harrison if he wanted Claire to be his nanny. I just would have stricken that whole thing from that scene.
Guys,
I think that's dirty of him to do.
All right, what you got, Bree?
Actually, I thought about this earlier. When Nick came down to sit with Phyllis, and he was trying to get her to distract her from doing something devious, I was hoping he would just say, "Hey, let's go up to their room and let's pick up where we were about to leave off."
Mm-hmm. My flip the script would have been Tucker telling Devon to kick rocks.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yep.
You're going to extract all this information and resources from me, but then you tell me don't dare to think about us being family again, asking me for anything. It's like, dude, that ain't how that work.
Right.
Bye. And that's why Audra was trying to tell him. So, all right, what y'all got on y'all flip for bold?
I had thought it too. Well, the first one I had, I wish the writers had just wrote an interaction between Lee and Finn.
Yes.
I'm very upset that we haven't seen any of that, and I guess next week we won't see any of that either.
Don't seem like it. What you got, Keish?
I agree with Bree's flip. It's really frustrating that Lee doesn't have more of a POV of this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
she's Finn's mother. But in addition to that, my flip would have been, instead of Steffi giving Finn that ultimatum, that she just put him out.
Gotcha. I actually got two. Number one, they should have never had that freaking pregnancy test storyline if nothing comes from it. And number two is Sheila locked the door. Well, she did. She went to try to answer, and Steffi just walked in. Tell her to go get out. Don't argue with her. Lock the door. And even if she said, "Open the door, Sheila, I know you're in there," don't open the door.
Steffi paying her back for all those other times that she just busted in their house.
Okay, so now we got to do the who's taking several seats on Young and the Restless.
Devon. He can take a seat for even fixing his lips to ask Tucker for help and then being rude to him.
I know, right? Bree?
I'm going to put Devon and Abby in a seat. Devon, obviously. But Abby, the fact that she hasn't checked on her mother.
Mm-hmm.
She's more focused on all this business stuff going on, but her mother is dealing with something. She's going to really need to take a seat with her selfish behind.
I'm going to give Jill a seat, even though she's sitting in a seat on that screen already. Because how you just going to give all your power to them without having a meeting about it? And then you give him extra powers because you gave him veto power that you technically didn't have yourself when working with Devon and Lily, because y'all are all on the same equal footing. But when you give it to Billy, he can now veto anything Devon and yeah. But I mean, it's also their fault. They shouldn't have listened to Mamie. They should have listened to Mamie. So I'm gonna put Jill in the seat. Might as well put the Winters in the seat too, because y'all should have listened.
Yeah.
All right, who taking seats on Bold?
Everybody but Zende.
Dang.
And I'm not even kidding. Every single one of them but Zende.
What you got, Bree?
I had a couple. Steffi's wig can take a seat. Brooke's audacity can take a seat. The fact that Finn still has yet to cry, the lack of tears can take a seat.
Wow.
Finn taking a seat. And the fact that Steffi is being vindictive this way, I just don't find it to be productive for her.
Yeah.
When she had a plane ticket to go see the very man she's upset that walked out on her.
I'm going to give him... Go ahead. Go ahead, Keish.
Hope or Steffi?
I think she's talking about Hope. Could have flew out to...
Yeah, I'm talking about Hope.
Oh, okay.
I was talking about Hope. Like, the fact that this vindictive storyline, the way she's going about it, she can definitely take a seat when she had the ability to go on a plane and go see her man that she's been crying and belly aching about so much.
Oh, can I give Victor and his Brussels sprouts to take a seat? Because I'm telling you... And I mean, and that's like, again, that jail cell or that whole area down there has to be putrid. It's like, dude, really? So yeah, but you and your Brussels sprouts can take a seat, Victor. And then I gotta give Liam a seat because it's like, Liam, go sit in your own office.
You don't have one.
That's a shame. He a rich man. He just forever. He loves carpooling. Why can't he just get a job at El Giardino at this point?
Or put him on the Forrester payroll as much as he's there.
Right.
I mean,
he'd be happy that he does it for free.
Sheesh, it's like, dude. I mean, he just show up. I'm looking for Hope today. I'm looking for Steffi today. I'm looking for Carter. Oh, I brought a toy by. It's like, dude.
Where is your cell phone? It was good when you were trying to film with Sheila and Finn hugging together, but you can't find your cell phone to call and see where these people are at.
Right, you just got to show up. I don't show up nowhere unless I know that the person is there. Oh, man. And Redneck said before they go, Steffi need to take a big fat seat or two, and they even got the seats in the comment section.
See, I love. Thank you, Rednecks. This proactive. Go ahead and get that seat ready for her. She definitely needed it. I that wig needed it. That skirt needed it. But mainly that if I'm want to keep at least two seats for Brooke, for her and her audacity, and I think that should be perfect.
Oh God, tell me about it. It's like, yeah, I mean, she need to take several after her history, and then you going, oh my God, wait till Ridge find out. Okay, and what?
Right. Ridge then heard the worst of how the family gets down, and mostly it was because of her.
I think David Hall agrees with you about Steffi's hair taking the seat. Said it looked like the Addams family cousin, it in a suit.
Exactly. We're gonna let that wig take a seat.
I don't know why they put that wig on that girl. She don't need it. Her hair was perfectly fine unless maybe I'm looking at on my because my YouTube is up in the background and there's a lot of thumbnails and somebody got a video of her and it's her hair, that style that she had compared to what she had on this week. I'm like, she could have wore her own hair, but hey, I don't work for CBS, so.
I wish I could. I would help these storylines out.
Oh yeah, somebody. Well, they said Australia, but since you want to say send Zende to Forrester, you need to take a seat at Forrester in Antarctica.
Antarctica. She should be CEO there.
Thank you. All right, now we still got these other two: Star of the Week, Pickle of the Week. Young.
The star of the week. I'm gonna give to Harrison.
Okay.
That's all I can think of. Or what's her name? Allison Lanier.
Okay. What about you, Key?
I'll Breeze. Allison.
Okay. I'll give it to the Brussels sprouts because I can't find a star. I mean, and as much I like mine kind of seared a little bit, with a little smoky, crunchy taste to it. So I'll give the star of the week to the Brussels sprouts.
Actually, can I give one more star to Phyllis's dress?
That's a great dress. The girl, I'm telling you, she must have her own stylist. She has to. Michelle Stafford don't play when it comes to what she wears on that show.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bree.
Oh, no. So that dress was definitely the star of this week.
Yep. All right. Star of the week, bold.
Good. Mine's going to be Jackie's conversation with her and Finn on Monday.
Oh, okay. When he came in there skipping. And she was like, talk to the hand. Yep.
She slammed that chair up against the table. Like, are you listening to me? Am I talking to a brick wall?
The star for bold with the pregnancy test.
What?
You saved that girl's life.
Oh my God! Yeah, because she was happy about not being pregnant.
Look, that pregnancy test, like, as soon as it said negative, that changed that girl's whole life. So good for that pregnancy test.
I gotta give it to Annika when she put a little bit back at Steffi with that little bit of a clap back, like, hey, you need me to stay out your business, but you can't stay out of mine. So, exactly. Yeah, I mean, because they need, like I said earlier, they need more clapbacks on there, when it comes to some of these storylines. Pickle of the week, Young. Devon.
Oh, I highly agree. The fact that he backtracking, going back to his daddy, won't even let him see his grandchild. Yeah. Complete pickle. Eat a pickle jar.
What you got, Keith?
I guess the same. He was the one that annoyed me the most this week.
Mm-hmm. Because it's like, and Tucker let him do it. I'm like, dude, I know you want this boy to be your son, but he is, yeah. All right, and then pickle of the week for Bold, Liam.
Mine is Hope. I ain't like the way she went in Finn's office trying to convince him to go to that wedding.
Oh, okay. Bree?
Mine is Brooke and the writers. Brooke because her audacity, and the writers because they're so. I hate the way they wrote Zende. I wish he faced Brooke a little bit more confidently, and said like, "Look, I'm just as much as a forcer as you are."
Mm-hmm.
But Brooke herself is the pickle jar herself that people love to eat on for whatever reason.
I agree.
Put the pickle jar, leave the jar on the shelf, like many of people did.
Yeah, that's crazy. You're funny. All right, we had a good show. It was a total of 3 hours, and a lot of that is because of the fact we threw the spoilers in. I usually do standalone spoiler videos, but I was gone nonstop since Friday up until probably noon today. And then I still got to go to the airport later to take my son back, and we're gonna do dinner before that. So yeah. But it was fun. I enjoyed myself this weekend with them. And I enjoyed myself with you guys as well.
Same here.
Yay. Yeah, Keish and Bree, thank you for making the time on a Sunday. And also the fans for making the time on the Sunday. In the chat section, we had a good time. We should be back on our regularly scheduled Friday night to go over everything that happened for the week of the 20th through the 24th. And the last day for sweeps is the 22nd. So I'm hoping they end this sweeps month off with a bang. But I don't know about on Young and the Restless. This wedding should be crazy on Bold. But Young and the Restless, unless when Cole lets her out, is going to be crazy. Or it ends for it ends for Jordan this week. We'll see. So y'all got anything else?
Stay tuned. No, I'm about to make me some dinner here in a little bit.
Okay.
I made my French toast earlier, and then back to the grind for Monday.
Yeah. I kind of wish I took tomorrow off so I can just regroup from this weekend. But yeah, so anywho. All right, thanks you guys. See you later. Stay tuned for the recaps for this upcoming week, and we will talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.